Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam. Hi. Oh, my God, your microphone.
Am I here? Yes,
Well, I
am
thought
here.
you were. I didn't have her microphone on. I apologize for that.
Trying to silence me.
You made a new Weird Job Wednesday
I didn't
song.
make a new one. This is just one that only got played one time. And
Oh.
it's like a complete waste if you only play it one time.
Yeah, because it's Christmas themed.
Well, it was
correct?
right before the pandemic, too. It was like right before everything shut down. So
Okay.
I made this, but I don't think anybody was really in the mood for it. And I think we played it one time. And it's a really weird one because normally we hit them with a regular traditional Weird Job Wednesday song.
Yeah.
But here's the new
Okay,
one.
all
It's
right.
not really new. It's only been played once. I have a new one that I was going to work on. I just I didn't get it finished this morning. So here we go. It's a little Weird Job Christmas.
It'll be a Weird Job Wednesday without you.
I think it's like an Elvis thing.
I like
It'll be so weird, that strange job that you do.
It's going to get weirder. It's going to scare our guests.
Oh, yeah, well, that's the
Tom
problem.
wanted to do a bit. Dan said I really like it.
This is back when I would make them long, too.
Tom said, hey, half man, you're full of loads of, and now you sit up inside your tower.
It's in my range, though, I will say. I'm very
It's
comfortable.
good, it's good.
Very comfortable in that range.
Work and we slave for that.
It's gonna be the whole segment.
Yeah, it's a really
It's
long
fine,
segment.
it's
Thanks
fine.
for coming. We appreciate you
Christmas
being here.
miracle.
Came back to apologize. He saw the anger in Tom's eyes, and Tom beat Dan to death with a tire iron.
Okay, that's a weird one. Oh,
yeah.
there's a sound effect. The
I
end
told
was
you.
weird.
I told everybody. I told
Yeah,
everybody here. Nobody
all-
believed me. Nobody
yeah.
believed me. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
no, you do it. Do the Christmas
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
It's not weird. It's not going to scare the guests.
It is more awkward when the guest is in studio with us.
Right,
And
it
then
is.
they hear they're
And all
like,
of our
what did I
students,
sign up
and
for?
I heard her students were telling her, you got to go in. You got to get the full. It's like it's
Yeah.
like going to fondue restaurant.
Yeah.
You can't get it to go.
Yeah.
You got to go in.
And then when Julie walked in here, she
Yeah,
was like, what am I
when
doing?
you walked in, I swear to God, I thought you looked like you were like, oh my God, what the hell is happening? You look so scared, and I was like, I don't want to scare her. And then I didn't want to reveal myself to you because I thought you might think I'm like one of the characters from Tiptoes or an elf or something. You'll run out the door.
Real quick, Weird Job brought to you by Streamline Florida for all your mortgage needs. So in studio with us is Julie. How you doing, Julie?
I'm good.
So sorry to scare you, Julie.
We come on a little.
Yeah,
and
'cause
we
That's
come on-
what yoga's for.
Exactly. It's to calm you down. We come on strong.
So is it true that your students put you up to this? They said you should go on Tom and Dan. Okay, what did they tell you exactly?
I don't know,
Yeah.
what are
I'm
these-
curious.
tell us about these wacky students of yours.
One student said, have you ever heard of Tom and Dan? I said, well, what is that? So he is the one that initially emailed and said that I would fit the mold for the Weird Job Wednesday.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah,
No, you
well,
do.
You're perfect. You're perfect.
So Julie does hot yoga.
Yes.
So
Hot yoga.
now let's start from the beginning. Was this like a hobby or that turned into a job? Like, how did the whole thing start, Julie?
The first time I stepped into my first hot yoga class, I knew I was going to spend the rest of my life teaching it.
Really?
Oh my God, that sounds like the beginning of Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a hot yoga teacher, right? I love that she's like, as soon as I
didn't
set
know.
foot, I knew it.
I
love
knew
that.
after I took it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And so were you into yoga before?
No.
No,
No.
really? Hot yoga was the first time you've done it?
That's crazy.
I know. Crazy.
So,
You went right for the crazier yoga because I've got friends that are like, oh yeah, it's intense, man. Like it gets good.
Now, there's lots of things where people enjoy the type of exercise or whatever it is, but then don't never think about actually teaching it, right? It's like they like something, they're like, I'm going to do this forever. I love it.
But making it a business is,
yeah.
making it a small business. Who would we're a small business. Sometimes I think, as I'm laying in bed, why would anybody start a small business?
It's stressful.
Because it's super stressful. You know. I mean, you know.
Well, like, how did it turn into you actually teaching hot yoga? Like, how long did you have to do it for? Did you have to take courses? How does that work?
It's kind of an interesting thing. I cleaned a lot of things up in my life, and I read Living by the Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukav. Got on my knees, had an ugly cry. The next morning I said, I'm going to take a hot yoga class. And as soon as I walked up to the building, all the hair on my arms stood up. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, this is for
I'm
you.
going to be a hot yoga instructor. Seriously. And 6 months later, I was in Hawaii for a 9-week program underneath my guru, Bikram Chowdhury.
9
Okay,
weeks.
okay.
9 weeks,
Bikram. Also, a great place to go to take some sort of seminar.
Oh my God, 9 weeks seminar.
I think I'll do any 9-week seminar in Hawaii.
Yeah.
of
Well,
anything.
I didn't see Hawaii.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, you're just
It
stuck
was-
in
This
the.
is business, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was a 9-week, very intense teacher training that was all day, all night in the room, learning, teaching, practicing.
My God.
Oh, it's like SEAL training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still hot yoga training. Go.
Yeah, it
Warm
was
those
intense.
stones.
So, explain to me about like Mikram and like having a I guess
With a B, Bikram.
Oh, Bikram. Sorry,
Mikram.
I thought it
Mikram
was
is the
Bikram.
auto auction. You're thinking of
Bikram?
Mikram. Auto auction is what you're thinking.
Bikram, Bikram.
Okay,
Bikram.
so do you have to learn from someone like that? I mean, can you take this instruction online? How does that work?
In order to be a certified Bikram instructor, you have to learn underneath him for 9 weeks, pass 2 anatomy and physiology exams. It's optional, at least when I went to teacher training 15 years ago, 2007, CPR, first aid. You also have to demonstrate your ability to be able to teach the postures by saying the dialogue. There's a 90-minute written black and white dialogue, and you also have to be able to demonstrate the postures.
This sounds like the knowledge that they used to do with taxi drivers back in England back in the day.
Yeah.
This sounds impossible. There's a 90 minutes like anatomy thing that you need to like sort of know by heart. Now, I could never pass any of this.
Well, it's just like anything.
I can't
you
even do a
train,
downward dog. It's so hard. I'm so stiff.
So let's talk about what the difference between regular yoga and hot yoga, besides the
I
obvious.
think I have an idea.
No. I know you're in an environment that's hot, but like first, like how hot does it have to be, and what is that the only
Yeah.
difference?
And what are you using to heat the place?
So it stands alone in the fact that it's a series. It's a 26 posture, 2 deep breathing exercises. That's a series that is synergistic. So it's using everything in your body, inside out, bones to the skin, from the heads to the toes.
Okay.
And every time you come to class, it's the same series. So you get to know the postures. You get to be able to push further. You get to go further.
Reps.
And the heat helps you be able to do that. So you can actually restructure your skeletal system with the help of your muscular system within that kind
I
of
need
heat.
this. This is exactly what I need.
Okay, so
I think you need it too.
when was it discovered that this was a benefit? Like, I imagine that yoga has been around forever, and then they realized, like, and it makes sense, the warmer you are and the warmer your body is, like, they tell you to, like, do sauna or hot tub before you work out,
Right,
to loosen everything up. So it's like, is it that theory is like just warming your body will loosen everything and make it easier to stretch and be more beneficial while you're doing yoga, rather than doing yoga in a regular 72-degree environment, like a regular air condition?
So as we go through teacher training, they teach us what is the best temperature between temperature and humidity. And the humidity plays a really big role in that. So we're looking at 50% humidity with 100% with 100 degrees, and it changes as we go up and down. So it could be 50% humidity or 40% humidity with 105 degrees, or 30% humidity with 110 degrees. And how you manage that could be with the bodies, could be the outside temperature, could be your heating system. But those are the temperatures that give you the ability to go as deep as possible without too much or too little.
Okay, well, let's talk about too much, because I watch a lot of these TikTok videos, like,
Don't tell the ones you want.
No.
no,
I don't want to know about.
I wouldn't know anyway.
No, they're like
Oh my God.
motivational ones.
Oh,
where like
okay,
Tony
yeah.
Robbins talks about a lot about like infrared sauna and like the benefits of sauna.
Yeah.
And then
Charbroil, infrared sauna.
and then because I watched too long of a video, now I get all infrared sauna, TikToks, and then people are making claims that like getting into a sauna at a certain temperature, and it's hot, like real high, like 110 or was it higher than that or whatever, and for X amount of time per day, and they're like, this will reduce your risk of dying by 40%. I'm like, 40?
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
And they're
yeah.
like, that sounds like you didn't have enough sample size. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a gigantic statistic. I feel like humanity, if you could, cut your risk of dying by 40%, but everybody says there's tremendous benefit to like getting into extreme heats. So like, but you don't want to do yoga in that extreme heat. You could be dangerous, right? Like that's just for sitting and just taking the heat and
Yeah.
not actually stretching and exercising.
I mean,
right?
I believe you if that's what you're saying. I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, is there any benefit to going hotter than 100?
Well, I do. It depends on the humidity.
Okay.
So like today was at 113, but
Oh, okay.
but there was not that much humidity. And so a Bikram teacher is trained on what to look for and how to manage that. In my personal studio that I have now, in this particular studio, I pour water on the floor. I add hydrogen peroxide to the water, and I'll pour gallon upon gallon on the floor. So every place is different. If we were up north, it would be a different type of heating system than what I have. And my building's different because I have, half of it is glass. So
So you have to adapt to that, or
So
compensate
this
for
is a
the
very different room than what
Sure.
I'm used to. I managed a studio for 13 years. This is a whole different beast because it's a different space. It's just so different. And so you just have to keep looking at those temperatures and trying to get everything, manage it towards those target humidity and temperature.
Do you have to build it out specifically for the amount of wetness that will be there?
Yeah, so humid. Like,
Yeah,
I
mean, you
imagine-
can't just throw up some drywall and run, right? Like you gotta, or do you?
I never really thought about this because I only opened up my own personal studio in 2020, right before the
right on.
pandemic.
Okay.
So I'm a new small business owner.
Gotcha.
And so I'm learning as I go. And I designed a system that really works very well for this particular room, which is very different than what I had at the studio that I managed. He had 2 units. 2 heating systems, 2 separate units where
Okay.
there's 2 different compressors and 2 different condensers. And so whereas this one's 1 because it's a smaller space.
Right.
And it's just very different. And you just try to keep gearing towards that level of humidity and temperature because you don't want, if it's too hot and too humid, if it goes over the targeted numbers, that person will go home and be very tired and wiped out and need to probably take a nap and probably not end up back in class the next
I gotcha.
day.
Gotcha. Yeah,
You
so-
don't want to
you're-
wipe your
it's
students
sensitive.
out.
Managing the experience almost like a shaman would with ayahuasca or anything else. You're managing
Exactly.
it to make sure that everybody has a good. Your job is to manage the room. We'll teach and manage
Right.
everyone's temperature.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot going
how
on.
do you mess with the temperature and the humidity while is it just pouring water onto the floor like you said, like raising the humidity?
In my studio, that's what I do. I'll turn on and off the heat. I look at the temperatures throughout the night, like what time is it going to be, what temperature with what humidity outside. I'm also by the water, so I get a little bit more of a wind with those windows. So I have to take all of that into consideration when I decide to turn on the heat. And I decide to turn on the heat based on outside temperatures and what we're going to be at outside by the time I start class, because I also have sunlight. So when the sunlight comes in, and if it's not sunny, I got to take that into consideration of when I'm turning on the heat.
Might take longer to heat.
So-
could affect your costs as well. Man, that's a lot to manage.
You know, I didn't realize how
I feel like you would like this. This is like gambling. You're like,
No,
oh, look
no,
at the sun out there. How's the sun going to be? I got to
many
fire up the heat.
details.
too many,
for Tom.
too many details.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to turn it on hot or not.
Wow.
Wait, that was a website in the early 2000s. I think I put myself on there and I was always not. It made me sad.
I didn't realize how specific
That's interesting.
the temperature had to be and how important that was to hot yoga. I thought it was just like, hey, we're doing yoga in a hot environment.
It's just really about that, because if you can get somebody to do this series, the 26 postures and 2 deep breathing exercises, in the best heat, they're going to have the best experience.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and the repetition gets you better at it, and every time you're going, the hope would be that you get incrementally better, right? And then you
Yes, but also too, life happens. So you could get into a bicycling
get an
accident,
injury
and then
or
we have
something.
to repair a sprained ankle or a broken hip or knee surgery
Sure.
or a death in the family will lock up your hips. And so there's different things.
My
but
God, my parents locked up my hips. Is
Yeah.
that why I'm so tired? Both my parents say it's their fault. I knew it was their fault that I can't walk.
So, what would
Sorry,
you say?
I'm a dark person.
it's okay.
What would you say the biggest difference is, or biggest advantage is from like regular yoga to hot yoga?
This is my opinion.
Okay.
Bikram yoga is a path to enlightenment.
Hmm.
I can't say the same for other yoga class.
So it's more than just necessarily the yoga. It's more of like a whole experience, way of like kind of like I equate it to who's the cold guy, Wim Hof. Like breathing and
Along the same lines,
Okay.
my goal as a Bikram teacher is to get my students at some point in 90 minutes to ask God for the will to live. And if
Okay.
they do, then I'm doing my job.
So they have to go through an extreme, a hard experience, right? You want all your students to go, because I would like to go
Yeah.
through something where when I come out the other side, I'm like, that will put my body through,
And not just your body, your mind too.
Yeah.
Instead of having to have some near-death experience where you start to appreciate life, I'm going to create it for you. The choice is yours.
that's what I've told. The
I
choice
like
is
it. Yeah,
yours.
this is what we've been
It's
talking
mine.
about.
Don't give me the choice.
Yeah, oh, you don't want to see my choices.
No.
Terrible choices. This sounds awesome though, because like
Daniel, this is what you need, a
I have-
near-death experience. I've been telling you for years.
But I
It's
do
true.
like the
It's
idea of
anxiety.
holding a pose that, like, I won't say hurt, because I think that's an incorrect. It's just difficult.
I hurt so good.
Yeah, it's like I hurt so good. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you wanna
But
push yourself
but
as
you
hard
push
as
it as
possible.
hard as possible. But like, do you find that people start sweat? Because even when I'm not hot, if I'm just doing yoga, I sweat crazy when I do yoga. I could be upstairs in my workout room at the house,
Yeah.
just holding a pose, and if I have to hold it for as long as the teacher asks me to, I'm about to cry. Do you find that like people love almost the competitive aspect of when they add on the heat, like, oh man, I'm gonna do it? Like, is there a
I think the competitive nature is within themselves.
gotcha?
In the room, it's really, I try
Calm.
to create a very non-judgmental
Sure.
and competitive environment. Of course, some of that's a little healthy, but it's really within themselves. And so
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like beating your last.
as soon as you walk in, and if
Holder.
you think, oh yeah, I feel like a superstar, I'm going to do really good, they're probably on their ass within like 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's a
That's
whole
me.
ego. It's like an ego journey. It's all about surrendering the ego.
How much is sweating a part of it? Because everybody talks about like sweating everything out, the toxins out. and
I
stuff.
just like the feeling of sweat. Like, it makes me feel like I'm alive. Like, because of so much of what we do in here is we sit in this. It's freezing in this place, and then that's why I like to sweat. People think
Yeah.
I'm crazy. I got friends that like think I'm insane. I hate the cold weather. I can't stand
There's
it.
always been the term of like sweat it out. You got to go like if you're poisoned, you're hungover. It's like you
Yeah.
got to sweat it out the
I
next
like
day.
being sweaty. I like feeling sweat. I don't know. It's
Which, by the way, it's the only time where it really makes me realize how bad alcohol is for me, because
Oh, it stinks.
Because when you sweat out that first alcohol after you're hungover or something, and then
God.
it burns your skin
Yeah,
on the
it's
outside,
terrible.
you're like, oh my God, I've drank poison and it's coming out of my pores now. So is sweating part of it?
Yeah, I mean, sweating's definitely part of it. If I don't have the best heat, I'll hear about it from the students. Well, I didn't sweat as much as I used to.
Oh, really?
Everybody
Yeah.
wants to
wow,
sweat.
yeah.
Everybody is in there to get a good workout. It's a one-stop shop. They don't want to waste any of their time. They're spending 90 minutes at the sweat lodge, at the gym, at the strength training, at the endurance training, at the psychologist, the psychiatrist, you
right.
name it.
Yeah.
It's a one-stop shop, and they want to get their money's worth and their time's worth. And and today we're short on time, and so it's really a one-stop shop.
Is the mental aspect of this the hardest
Yes.
part for people to get past?
Yes.
Is it men traditionally, or are they the worst? I mean, you could say. I mean, I would guess.
Yes.
Tom and I love to try and guess the stereotype, and I'm going to guess that your hardest nut to crack is maybe even a guy that's in good shape that comes to the thing and he's like, I'm gonna do this, I'm a muscle man, and then you get in there.
It's too hard for him.
Yeah, it's too hard for him. He can't calm
Too
down.
stiff.
He can't breathe correctly. He can't hold the pose. He's complaining the whole time, and
Yes.
it's all about like staying quiet, not because. At least from my perspective, every time you're bitching about stuff and getting mad about it, you're wasting energy, right?
Yeah.
I try to focus that energy, just
But you
breathe.
got it. I mean, you have the right idea.
Oh, I want to do this.
And like I can have an older lady come in, 75, but with her heart and her mind open, and I cannot say breeze through it, because if you're breezing through a Bikram class, then you're not trying hard. But staying vertical when you're supposed to stay vertical, and being horizontal when you're supposed to be horizontal, and doing it with a smile on your face, because it's really about what's going on upstairs. But if you have somebody that comes in and they're like, I'm better than this, I know more than you, I know more than this, and I'm gonna rock it.
Yeah, and they don't. Yeah, probably
No.
not.
It's a
gonna
bad
happen.
mentality.
Yeah.
They're made of cement.
Yeah. That's also not what the
I think
vibe's
that's
about.
why I'm
That's
turning
not-
into a cement
You are
man.
turning
That is true.
Because I was just thinking, I was like, can you do this with a closed mind and a closed heart? Because that's me.
Well, come to me and I'll make sure I can crack it open.
I have no crack in it.
He has this.
It's
We both have our
closed.
problems. I have an L4, L5 in my hip. My left hip's all bad. But you have something that I don't even know what it is. He has this.
It's concrete
disease.
man.
He has concrete man feet. And what I mean by that is now, if he were to go to. If you guys would have to go, the three of us would all have to go somewhere so I could show her you carrying a beer.
Well, Julie,
He
I'm
can't
too
carry
stiff.
a beer
I'm
because
so
his
stiff.
feet, when he walks, his feet, they go, yeah,
They slap.
yeah, and they like slap.
My whole bottom end is just stiff. It doesn't
You're
move fluidly.
like a poorly made action figure.
Yeah.
You remember their legs wouldn't move. It would just be straight.
Yeah, it just pounds the ground when I walk, and then my whole body's stiff, and then it's gotten stiffer as I've aged.
How do we unstiffify ourselves?
Yeah.
Come to Bikram yoga.
Okay.
Okay.
Get
The
hot.
heat, the heat helps with that. The heat's going to help with your L5, L4, because at the beginning of class, we do a standing deep breathing exercise. That's going to oxygenate your body by like 10 to 14%. So you're going to get that oxygen all in your body. So then when you start to do these postures, asanas, and you start to cut the blood circulation off, when you release, that high-speed blood goes into those places, revitalizing, reorganizing, re-energizing, detoxifying, waking things up. So if you have a disc issue, you're sending oxygen there, and you're waking it up. You're giving the body what it needs to heal. If you're full of cement, that heat is going to help warm muscles stretch better. So you're going to start to break through some of that stuff. And when you hit resistance in class, where you hit some tightness versus a disc issue with L5, L4, you're taught to release, let go. Whenever you're hitting that resistance, there's something else going on in your connective tissue. There's something that's making it hard. And instead of sending you to psychotherapy to figure out that, just let go. Just let go. Take a deep breath
can't let anything
and
go.
let go.
Should make a
have-
song about that. Write that down.
Right, let it go down.
Write that down.
Also
Like a
write
winter,
down release.
Yeah.
Also write down. Well, don't write. You know what? Scratch out release.
So, speaking of release, and I don't mean to do the 90s radio
Come on, man.
question.
You
that
promised
everybody-
me you wouldn't do this today. You promised me.
Or I promised you a week ago.
All
I
right.
feel differently now. But it's been the stereotype and the joke in the yoga industry that people tend to. Yeah, there it is. are so loose that that farts come out.
Yeah.
And then
Why are you laughing, bro?
well, because I
bet
am
you,
immature.
man. I bet you'd go to do
too
downward
awkward.
dog and
No, I
you
hold
crank
it.
a blammer.
No, I'll
Can't
never
hold it.
I'll
You
never.
do one of those internal farts where you can hear it, where it goes.
I'm never that loose in any situation.
Yeah.
I can never get
Never loose.
I can never get loose.
Yeah, we try to get him loose. I'm like, get loose now, but he can't do it.
Yeah, because I'm always guarded myself. Like I can't ever feel
You're the worst disco
I can't just be
partner.
like, oh, I'm so relaxed and loose, and then a fart in front
Yeah.
because I'll be embarrassed in front of everybody.
But it's hot, so I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like,
Yeah. Then I'm yeah. So
it's gonna be one of those.
does this happen a lot, or is everybody so used to it? It's just it's a bodily
Can't hear it.
function.
She's
doesn't-
put water on the floor. You gotta time it. I gotta time it for when she puts the water on the floor. Oh, here she comes.
I know it's a stupid question. I'm sorry, Julie.
It's totally okay. It happens way less than you would think.
Oh, really?
Boo.
Because yoga also it trains you to be able to control your body. You know, you're starting to gain control. Yoga is life.
hear
Yoga
that?
is the study of you.
You won't pee your
So-
pants anymore.
So even though you may not want to do something like that, you're learning how to control things at the same time. Let go. It's a very big balance between the two.
You know, it's funny because some of our listeners, because Julie, like they know me as
They
I'm
call you concrete feet.
no, that I'm an atheist and I don't believe in anything.
Why are you saying that?
Well,
to,
because
why are you saying that to Julie? Why
because
would
I'm
you do
saying
that?
this because people are, I'm sure, are like
She didn't
Tom
even bring
Van
that
doesn't
up.
believe in any
didn't
energy
bring that up.
or any sort of like anything beyond himself or whatever. But I know and I've seen studies with people and like monks and yoga masters and people, Wim Hof and all these, I'm sure Bikram can do it, where they could actually manipulate their physiology and get through scenarios that normal people can't get through with breathing techniques
Yeah.
and controlling
And
their
without
body
farting.
temperature. Yeah, well, like just being able to control your body internally, and that's how people can do the extreme colds for so long, or extreme hot, or like control their heartbeat in certain scenarios. Like it's
What if you
proven that they
have
can
to
do
do it?
this. So like all humans have the ability to dial themselves in and be more in control of their body, and it's proven. Like it's not just nonsense. Like
Yeah,
this
mumbo
is.
jumbo.
People have
It's
done
real
this,
stuff.
and it's they've proven that they could do this. And monks have proven that they can control their body more. Now people can do it better than other people, but everybody, it seems like, has the ability to get better at it.
What's the longest class that most people take? Because I would imagine that because of the heat, you can't just get in there and crank away for
All
4
Bikram
hours.
classes are 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, so
that
it's-
sounds like a long time, though.
Long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, anybody go, if you think I'm kidding, go and hold just one basic yoga pose for like a minute.
And
It's
then-
hard, man.
And that's the thing about the
Yoga's like swimming. It's like deceivingly so difficult to do correctly.
well, I mean,
Like do 2 laps in a
any-
pool and you're like, you know, it's so hard.
do a plank.
Planks are so hard.
No, or just get into the push-up position,
Yeah, and just
like
hold
with
it.
your hands up,
Yeah,
and
just
then
hold
hold
it.
it,
Yeah.
because that is essentially what we're
That's a
looking
move,
at.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
as far as yoga, and then
hard.
and most people cannot hold it more than a minute. Your arms are shaking.
I'm surprised
It's a
that-
week.
I am surprised at how many people can't do one push-up. Like our friend EJ's out there in the lobby. He can't even do one push-up.
Oh, yeah.
Not even one.
I mean, a pull-up is.
He can't. Oh my God! Don't even get me started on pull-ups. I just did that to bully him because he did the lobby.
Yeah.
he
EJ can't
didn't
do one
anything to
pull-up,
me.
right?
He's a sweet man. He did nothing to me. He's just sitting there enjoying his day, and I had to insult him.
So, but when there's different, you could make each pose easier or more difficult,
Modifying.
depending on how does that work? So because I'm sure the people that are really good are making the pose as hard as possible, and the newcomers are making it as easy. Kind of like doing girl push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get down to your elbows or
That's
get
what
down
EJ
to your
does.
knees, and then
I
it
can't
makes
stop.
it easier, but it's still essentially a push-up.
You just start at the beginning of the path, and when you get to a point where you can't go anymore, you just stick right there. I don't do any of the postures with you. I tell you exactly what to do. So with my guidance, you know how far you can go. So everybody at all levels practices together, and I teach everybody together. And my job is to meet you where you're at on the path and teach you from there.
All right.
Yeah, I like that better too because it doesn't.
There's no pressure.
Yeah, it really isn't.
The only pressure is coming from you.
And I've only done regular yoga with like my wife, but it's it must have been a similar styled class because everybody's at the same. It's just like do what you can do to the best of your ability and challenge yourself, but don't hurt yourself, obviously.
But if I see you can do something that you're not doing, I'll make sure I say something.
No sandbagging. Yeah. Yeah. Don't get in there.
But some days you might be capable of hearing that, and then other days I pull back because it's my job to energetically feel where you're at. And if you're not ready to be pushed, then my job is to know that. Right. But when I know you're coming in and you're feeling strong and good and clear and ready to go, I'll give you a little nudge.
Gotcha.
Julie, do you have a stiffness test? Like for new like
a
say
baseline test to see if somebody
let's role play here. Say I'm a new student that wants to do some hot yoga, and then you're like kind of weighing me out like, all right, what's his experience? Like
no,
where
none
is
of that.
No. I can just
you just come on in.
I
guess
just
I see you on the mat.
Yeah.
See you on the mat.
Now, what if I'm the stiffest person you've ever seen to the point where you're like, I'm sorry, you have to leave now?
No.
Oh my God, this is disgusting.
No. Yoga has nothing to do with flexibility. The actual definition of yoga is yoking, and it's the union between your mind, body, and spirit. And so that's it. It has nothing to do with how long you can touch your toes, or if you can touch your toes or not. It's nothing to do with that. This is about you. It's a study of you. Yoga is life. That has nothing to do with how flexible you are.
See,
so
we need something like this we need a purpose, so we'll guide and we'll go towards we have no purpose. That's our problem with our show.
Yeah.
No purpose here.
We need to get funnel the BDMs into like a BDM is life type of.
Yeah,
I'm following you.
Yeah. Hot medium yoga.
We just turn down the heat or turn up the heat.
Turn down the heat.
And then
I don't even think we have heat here. We don't have heat here. We don't have hot water. I know that.
So Julie, I guess I feel like a lot of misconception about yoga is where like me, I've never done it before.
Not even a regular yoga?
I'm thinking more of exercise and less of
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking like the videos where the guy comes and he rips the yoga pants off.
No, I'm not.
Everybody's seen those.
No, I'm not
Why does he do that? Those are expensive. Those are LaRue's.
But I'm thinking more of like boot camp exercise and less about like the experience and how good it is for your mind. And I'm just thinking of exercise.
You never think of the mind part of things. We tried to get him to meditate. I swear to God, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus here. We tried to get him to meditate in here, and me and Sam would do like a daily meditation, and it was only 5 minutes, like a junior. It's for babies. It's like a junior meditation, and you hated it. You weren't able to do the breathing. We were trying to do circle breathing. He didn't want to.
I can't say like
you can't do it.
I understand.
I'm being serious. Like you don't like it.
The working out part, I could work out and then for years later, I see like, oh, my muscles are bigger. Like I see it, but I can't see.
You can't see
my
your
brain
mind getting bigger.
Muscles.
You want to see your brain muscles.
Like I can't tell if I'm getting better. I think it's nothing.
How do you help a guy like that who can't, like, because I love meditation. It's really helped me a lot with my anxiety. So how would you help somebody like Tom who would be coming to your studio and you're not sure if he's going to be able to get the mental benefits of the hot yoga?
I think that it's just see you on the mat kind of thing.
Keep doing it.
Keep your heart and your mind open, and eventually when the student is ready, the teacher will appear and you'll be ready. And it's not about how fast, how short, how long, whatever. It's just about you and the study of you, and you'll open when you're ready.
He already opens his shorts all the time. We got kicked off Inside Edition because his shorts were too small.
Is it possible, Julie, just like I said, like I'm too stiff, is it possible that my mind it's not good or bad, it's like you can't mold it. It's nothing.
It's an unmoldable mind.
It's
a smooth brain. It's a smooth brain. I've heard that term
It's not
before,
like...
you're the unmoldable mind.
There's no damage. There's no good.
Smooth brain, concrete man.
It's just a brain.
Like I can't get any benefit
Your
at all.
brain is a fake TV at IKEA on the wall.
Like no matter what happens to me, there's no negative or positive. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just a nothing. Like could that be? Because I've started looking at my son Tommy, and then I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like you know, I'm like, oh my
Leave
God,
him alone.
he
He's
was born
fine.
like me, and then
fine.
it's just like everything's a nothing. Nothing excites him. He's just going through life, just even keeled. There's like never really that happy, never that sad, just straight down the middle.
I like the. See, I'm different. I'm the pole. I like poles. I like the poles. I'm manic.
Two of them, two poles.
Yeah, two poles. Never in the middle. I'm always in the dumps.
It's
I'm
not
either flying
unipolar.
high. Yeah, I'm either kill myself or flying high. There's nothing.
That's
in
a more
between.
exciting way to live,
It
though.
really is.
Yeah, because at least I never see the
At least I'm going up and down. What are you doing? 20,000
They're
feet.
just around the equator. It's the same. It's kind of hot. Anyway, sorry.
Sammy Salmon is kind of hot.
I didn't know what the hell just happened. Did you have a stroke?
He just said Sammy Salmon is kind of hot.
So, Julie, okay? Let's talk a little bit about the business of hot yoga.
Oh,
so
I don't want to talk about that part. That's the scary part.
No,
That
well,
is
I mean,
scary.
the like, how did you go about like getting your clients? Like, how do you
That's a
even
good
market
question,
that?
yeah.
Like when you
How do
start,
you market
yeah,
it?
I mean, you open the doors and you're like, I need people.
So I managed a studio locally for 13 years.
A lot of connections, I'm
and
guessing.
then there was some financial issues, and I decided to go off on my own. I've lived in Sanford for over 20 years, so I
right on.
decided, hey, why not? Let's bring yoga to Sanford. And so I decided in February of 2020 to open up my own studio on Park Avenue.
Okay,
I think
awesome.
that's awesome.
And then you had a lot of relationships already with
So
students and
a
stuff.
lot of my relationships and all the hard work that I did for 13
Yeah,
years
yeah,
really paid off. They followed me through the pandemic. They followed me when we had to go virtual for a month. They've kept Hot Yoga Sanford alive, and it's been a blessing. It really has.
I was about to say, starting your business right before the pandemic.
A lot of people did.
Must have been terrifying. You must have been like,
Terrifying.
My God, there's a worse look. It's like,
Terrifying. Two things that I would say to myself is anything's possible with God, and consistency is the key to success.
Yeah, there you go. Had to drop that atheist thing, didn't you?
And I
had to get it
I
out.
had to explain to
Yeah.
Julie
No, you
that,
didn't. You didn't
that
have to
my
explain.
mind is nothing.
You didn't
it's
have to
nothing.
say
It's not
anything.
interesting. I'm not
You
even
didn't have to-
interesting at all.
Yeah, you didn't have to say it.
No.
God meaning whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't, you know,
give
it
me a-
doesn't-
I'm down for whatever.
Yeah,
Anything goes.
I've heard
It's
you
just
rap many
that
times.
just piping into the highest vibration you possibly can, and if you can do that, anything's possible.
Now, like, is there a class size that you reach where it's like you shouldn't go above?
Like
a certain-
UCF, it's 265 people in here. It's like too
No,
many people.
Like,
Right.
could you grow until you're doing it in front of a class of 150? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, could it get? I'm sure.
If the
room-
room's big enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's-
there's no limit to class size.
No, I mean, in my teacher training, we probably started out with about 300 people.
Oh, wow.
So
That's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, it's a lot of people. And in my studio, it's very small. And after COVID, I've just decided 15 people is the max. So it's a small, intimate studio.
See, I would like that. I like smaller classes. I went to private college, and when you get the smaller classes and you, especially if you're nervous about something or something's intimidating to you, you know, like that's super attractive, small classes.
Can you get good at hot yoga as far as like, would you say you're like 9 out of 10 of hot yoga instructors in Florida? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there
Or, like,
any
how do
way of
you-
comparing?
How do you judge who's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best?
Well, everything's a competition.
Well,
so.
no,
He
I'm
wants
just-
to bet on her.
No, I know Beak.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, I'm just saying Beakroom's at the top, right? He's really good.
Yeah.
Like, he could do stuff that I'm sure other people
Big
can
Beak.
do. But then it's like goes down, and then the longer you practice it, the better you
Yeah,
get.
and then you
Is
get the
that how it
cold
works?
yoga, and people hate the cold yoga.
No, the way I look at it is not necessarily the execution of the posture. It's who you are.
Okay.
And who you are at this moment in time, and each student is different. Whether they can wrap their legs behind their head or whatever doesn't make them a good person.
My wife can do that, and she's a horrible person.
No,
Well, I
don't
was
say
just
that.
saying-
Yeah, but she can
Come
do
on,
that,
man.
and that's you know what? And I look at her, I'm like, it's not that bad. I was like, I'll overlook it because she's got her legs behind her head.
So Julie, let's talk about your studio. Where's your
Yeah.
studio,
And where can people find
it?
you?
I'm at 206 North Park Avenue. I'm right next to Pedal Driven.
Oh, nice.
Right by the flag. I'm only like 1 block away from the flag down on Park Avenue in downtown Sanford.
Okay,
That's
awesome.
an awesome spot to go and do hot yoga too.
It's really a great location.
Yeah.
I've been really blessed to have it, and my actual landlord lives there. He
That's cool.
renovated upstairs, and so he's got this beautiful, like kind of like New York loft type house above me.
Wow.
And so it's actually his house, and so I don't pay Cam. That's his yard. And so I've got like a big Santa Claus on top of my studio.
That's cool.
Yeah,
though.
and I have all these great Christmas lights, and they're just really they've actually been my biggest support system through all of COVID and all of the hardships that I've had, because they want to see me succeed.
Gotta love good people, right?
And they're like, we see what comes out of there. You just keep doing what you're doing. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, well, it's a
you gotta
positive.
help the people that are helping the people, right? If you're helping, like a lot of people use exercise, a lot of people use yoga as, I know that I have, use it as a form of to kill my anxiety, to help with my depression. So I'm sure that you got a multitude of people that you're helping. So
Well, it's all, it's a business that everybody's benefiting from. It's like
well, it's changed a lot. I mean, since COVID. I mean, I've taught 13 years prior to that, and the actual student body, and even the same students that I taught back then, are very different, struggling with very different things today.
I guess last question: do you do any of you? Because I do this with my barber, my personal trainer. Well, I'll use them as my therapist too, getting like 2 for 1. Where I start unloading my problems
the old
on
ladies
a
are real grinding me up.
I find myself just telling them a lot of things, like getting it off my chest.
Yeah, we're getting a divorce, John.
And they're already either cutting my hair, I'm working out, so I'm like, well, they have to listen to whatever I'm saying, and then it's like,
if my wife calls over here, you'll vouch for me, right? Like,
do you find that people, like, it's a non-talking scenario, right?
Right, but there's lobby time.
Yeah, because they start dumping
time.
it. Yeah, because now.
Oh, you'd be the worst at lobby time.
Well, because I feel like then, Julie, your students will start looking at you like a therapist, a leader, a spiritual leader.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do with yours? He wants to be a shaman. He's standing up there.
An acoustic guitar.
Yeah, yeah. He's got the yellow Koresh sunglasses on.
But I'm sure some of your students probably want to talk it out too, because it's like a therapy, probably even doing hot yoga. Right?
Yeah, I mean, they come in with a mess, but then afterwards they've had some light bulb moments and some insights, and so they want to share that too. So it just happens very organically. People will share before sometimes they'll show up before class, way before, just so they have a chance to talk to me and let me know what's going on or how they feel or any changes that have been happening. They get in the room. I mean, a day doesn't go by that I don't see tears.
Really?
It's like that.
You would make you very uncomfortable. When people start crying,
but you can't tell that they're crying.
White claw.
Yeah, that's right. It could be sweat. Who knows?
You can't tell.
Yep,
You
let's
can't-
live and love.
I can tell, but nobody else can tell.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, thank you so much for your time. You're so sweet. We appreciate you coming in. Congrats on the business, and I urge you. We threw the
plug your website real quick.
Yeah,
too.
please.
It's hotyogasanford.com.
All right, Hot Yoga Sanford.
Yep, hotyogasanford.com.
Well, Julie, thanks so much for coming
Thank
in.
you.
We appreciate it. We appreciate the student that referred you to us.
Thank you guys so much.
And we'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
All right, you did great. That was awesome.
Thank you.
And we're still live, but you did an incredible job, and I'm just going to save this, and we're ready to go.
Thank you so much.
Nice job. Sorry if we were crazy. That's what we
I was
did.
warned.
We do a little crazy.
I was warned.
Yeah.
Where's this one go, Sam?
Wednesday 1 and 2.
Wednesday 1 and 2.
Yeah, we just keep it goofy.
Keep it goofy.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that you guys do a lot in Sanford.
We do.
And then the one guy that referred me is a new student of mine who lives in Sanford.
Oh, cool.
I think
he
you
was,
emailed us.
Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so he was just like, I think you're perfect. Just
that's
be
awesome.
prepared.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
can do
yeah.
this
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a living, then I
fine.
can do anything.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm
Was
grateful.
it 3, 2,
1 and 2.
1 and 2?
So if I were to send anybody to listen to that, what do I do?
It'll air tomorrow at 7 on 104.1 FM, and so it'll be on the radio, and the same time on our podcast called The Corporate Time. So if they want to search a Corporate Time and in their phones or whatever, it'll be the first segment on that show, and also air on the radio tomorrow at 7.
Okay. So I'm gonna put it on social media.
Yep.
Just so people can.
Perfect.
You
type
got it.
into
Hey, thanks for doing that.
Yeah, that'll be.
And I can go to your Facebook page and get that graphic.
Oh yeah, or we can email it to you if you have an email from on your contact page on your webpage.
That's tomandan.com. You can grab anything you want from
Yeah,
there,
from
or
that
Facebook,
website.
or if you want to send me an email, I'll give you my card.
Okay.
And
Oh yeah, and you can send her the graphic.
Well, and Sam, you have my email.
Yeah, we can just fire you the graphic.
Send me an
Pleasure
I'll send
meeting
you
you.
a link.
Thank you
Nice
so
to
much.
meet you
Really
too.
nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you the link and then the logos and stuff.
And then that way I can put it on there. Thank you. All right, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you
That
so
was
much.
fun.
Have a great rest of your day.
All right, you too. Thanks, Sam.
No problem.
Come on in, EJ.
I sent you a link
That
and
was a good segment.
your email, Dan.
Except for the bullying me part.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
Now I feel like I have to prove that I can do a push-up.
Are you talking about the
You can do a
Zoom?
push-up, not a pull-up, though, right?
I probably could do a pull-up. I used to be really good at college. Like at beginning of college, I
I know
couldn't
you
do a
did.
pull-up at all.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about.
So it was a whale.
I think I could do. I'm not Brendan
Yeah, the
Fraser.
whale used to fight mummies. So
There he is. There he is.
It doesn't mean
Oh, I love the
not
whale.
me.
Every day I look at this photo, it makes me laugh.
what you used to be able to do.
I
means
know,
nothing.
I love the whale. I used to work for the whale. I get lots of it.
All right.
Oh, fuck.
Tuesday 1 and 2.
Oh man.
What time is it?
141.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah, we're on schedule.
That's good.
I think everything's been pretty damn good. That new camera looks so much better, dude.
It does look really good. Yeah.
Well, man, it's a long time coming.
Yeah.
Look at the difference in the focal length when
For
I
sure,
go when
yeah.
I go full shot for him. Hold on.
Are you saying I'm fat again?
No, look at
God
that.
damn it.
Look at how much
Yeah,
clearer
yeah,
it
it's
looks.
a way clearer. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just the
It looks really good. Yeah.
the fucking
How far it was.
the
yeah.
Yeah.
it would get so many little artifacts. So much better, guys. Tom and I are always trying to make things better for you guys. We fixed 2 problems this week.
That's always good. I always feel better after doing something, and you can see the completed product, and it looks so much better.
Okay. I just needed a day to wrap the cables again because that's the hard part. Those
Oh,
aren't
yeah,
hard.
yeah.
Just wrapping the cables though. Is
Cable
terrible.
management is a pain in the ass.
It's terrible. All right.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck up your intro, so let's.
It's even funnier if it's messed up.
All right. Would you like to start, Van?
Sure.
Is he 1 and 2? Is he 1?
Yeah, we'll try to do 1 and 2.
Okay.
That way.
I sent you a link that he's.
Okay.
It just
Gonna
came out
be
today.
using-
That's why I was like, usually it happens as soon as we finish, but for today, there was one that came right out at like 12:30.
Okay.
Tom's kid will love that. Kids will love that.
I know what this is. I can already tell.
Oh yeah, it's easy. We can start with that.
Actually, they took longer.
I'm glad they're taking their time. Increase the quality.
I was afraid they would not, and I was afraid since I liked the other one, I was afraid they're gonna, because I think
Oh, this trailer's hard. It's kind of like it gets me.
their Marvel movies are just because there's so many of them are forcing me into watching because Maisie's like dabbling in them now, and
Yeah, it's pop culture moments.
it's fun.
Definitely.
All right, you start, buddy. 3,
Yep.
2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producers here. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
Let's plug something. Let's plug some things.
We'll be at the Solar Bears game this Friday, December 16th. I know me, Daniel, Sam are going to be there. Ross is going to be there. Bus Decker, Brendan O'Connor is going to be there.
Yes.
Um,
Is EJ going to be there?
No,
I'll be in
he-
Tampa.
No
Sorry.
EJ. Okay, what do you got? The Lightning game?
So it's
No,
even better.
Going to my in-laws
Okay, wow. Oh, my God.
for
And-
Christmas, early Christmas.
And I do have a surprise for everybody going.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm not going to be
Um,
there. That's not a surprise.
No. Let's just say we'll be doing
Oh,
something on the
Druggy the Bear's coming
Is
back.
that it
Not
again?
Druggy Dog.
Hold on.
gonna be
No,
a-
I'm
no,
not.
that's
No.
upsetting if I
No,
miss
no, no,
this.
no, 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 no.
Concrete man on ice.
Come see him slap.
Just say
Come
I-
see him spill beer everywhere.
I pulled some strings. I talked to Mr.
Yeah,
Bear.
Mr. Bear.
I said,
Shades?
Oh,
His name is Shades.
I told him that I know solar too, and I got something going. I'm gonna
He
impress
got
my
a-
son.
He got an erection.
My
I love
son-
that. He's like, I got something going.
My sons never got to see
Oh,
like
they
the
blow-
They
jumps.
don't wanna see. They
They-
don't wanna
He used
see.
to be able
They never-
to do.
well, they never-
like I can do pull-ups.
Well, they weren't old enough to see me do any of the shows. So
Right.
it's like I don't know. I'd like for them to see
no.
what their old man
Yeah.
has got. What he could do.
This is gonna be really great. Or really
Like
sad.
get back in front of the crowd.
Really? Have you missed it? Have you
Just
missed
saying.
it? There
I'll
is
have
some
to take some
hijinks.
video from Melissa.
There
later.
are some hijinks here, considering he waited until the one that the deck is stacked where everybody's there, right?
Yeah,
This
we're
is-
all going to be there. It's the teddy bear talk.
This guy's
I'll-
got such an ego. This guy.
Listen, I'll just throw this out there. I got some.
It's a little sad. It's almost like when they go back to work at the radio station.
Oh,
right?
I-
When they go back to
Oh,
work.
then he's gonna be
It's a little sad. It's a little sad. Yeah, it's a little
Let's
sad.
just
Is
say-
he gonna throw himself on
It's
the ice
like,
because he used to be a bear?
I call this Bugman rides again.
Let's just say I got some friends of the show involved.
yeah. Oh,
Like,
God.
God.
Bustecker in, Brendan out.
Well, Bustecker will do anything.
Brendan's smarter than
You
Buster.
Ross
actually,
is in.
you
Oh,
asked
no.
friends of the show.
And Canadian Josh.
I don't even know
Oh,
what you're doing.
wow.
Whoa,
I'm saying.
it's a
I
teams
never
of
got
two.
any-
Canada Daddy.
They said.
Canada Daddy?
I said, meet me at the door.
What are they doing? Are they folding
There's so
boxes?
many doors
You'll
there.
see. You'll
All
see.
right. Okay. Should I play the thing?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Slightly, maybe a little excited, but also quite
A little scared.
a little scared.
Yeah.
Jock, nerd, jock.
Guaranteed to be some straight up BS.
It's Nerd Jock with EJ. How you doing, EJ?
Good. Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate that.
Thanks for
30
being
degrees
here,
in
buddy.
here.
It feels
It
great.
is.
I love
It's
it this
freezing
temperature. I
in
know.
here.
We tried to freeze out
Yeah.
the hot
I
yogurt.
tried to- yeah. I was like, turn down the air. We'll see your nipples.
See how you like the cold.
She's a hot yoga
We'll
instructor.
freeze her out.
If we turn the air down cold, she'll
Jesus
start taking her
Christ.
clothes off. Ultimate perverts. No, we didn't do that.
She was scared when she walked
Yeah, she was.
When she first walked in, she's looking around
I also
like,
don't think she believed I was here
what?
at first because I was in there
Yeah.
editing. And
That
she's
didn't
like, where's the
and
woman?
then
We
you guys
need another
hid.
woman.
I was like, somebody help.
She had her purse.
Clutching her purse.
Clutching her purse and then had her hand inside. I'm like, you
gonna
have her
pull a
hand
gun
on Mace. And I'm like,
Christ.
but also, like, it looks goofy in here. It's not
Oh,
like
yeah.
it looks like
she looked like she got on an elevator with Tekashi 6ix9ine. She's terrifying.
I mean, when you walk in, you're like, oh, okay, this is a thing. Like, it's not some sort of
I have done my
weird
best.
alley.
Yeah, I have tried to make it look
It's
like
inviting,
a
for
business.
sure, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
not really. I mean,
Well,
I got to
apparently
get rid
not.
of the dummy doll.
Yeah,
I guess
the one
mannequin
I-
scares
yeah.
people.
And then our Christmas cards are out there, and then a bunch of trash, and some
We do have a bunch of-
Subaru blanket.
Oh, I'm supposed to give that away.
Give it away already.
The Cassiopeia thing?
We're supposed to give it away the Subaru group.
Yeah, we're
and I
supposed
keep
to give it away
forgetting-
at the beer fest, I thought.
I don't know. We've got a lot of giveaways. Anyway, how you
You're
doing?
planning a halftime show?
No, it's not a halftime.
I
It's a
know. Our whole
Garbage.
business had to take a side, had to go back on the back burner.
yeah.
Whole business. So
He doesn't even know there's no
he's gonna have
halftime. It's
you,
periods,
and he's gonna have
intermissions.
Bustecker. You guys are gonna be folding refrigerator boxes in the U-Haul store.
I have boxes.
Taping 'em
I do
together.
have boxes if you need them.
Oh,
No,
I need
I'm
boxes.
not jumping anything.
Oh, he would never.
No, that's beneath me now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't believe that.
Well, you'd have to screw in a bunch of things to the tires of the screw, the ice. It's a whole thing. Anyway, so what do we got first, EJ?
You know what? I saw an article today that I definitely want to talk. You should have had Spencer talk about it yesterday because it did come out yesterday. Did
Yeah,
you
I don't
see
tell
that?
you how to fry chicken at Popeye. Okay, you don't come in here start telling us what to do. I'll slap your face.
It's a really nerd story, and it's about fusion and how they think they figured it out. Did
I
you see
saw
that
this.
story?
I
I
saw
thought
this.
Tom was gonna be like, I know about
I know.
fusion.
Yeah, wasn't it Las
He
Espadas?
knows infusion
Right.
with Las Espadas, the cheese, and then
That's what I was going to try to do the lead in. What's that thing you used to say for Las Espadas?
infusion.
Yeah. How did that work?
I wish you were
that
a
work?
Subman
Did they-
Bugman.
Did
Did
that
they
make
move
money
some
for
subs?
them?
I don't know. I don't know. I know it's expensive. You know, sell a lot of subs for that. Anyway, so
$8,000.
So I read a little bit about this, and there's a difference between fission and fusion.
Yes.
And what
fission
we
is
do
the splitting of the atom, and
It sounds
fusion
like
is putting
a-
two together.
Sounds like a
And the
Foxworthy
byproduct
joke.
of fusion is an inert gas, so it's actually not radioactive.
and fission, the way we do it now, it creates
Hey, you will go fishing. Sorry.
it creates radioactive waste
Yeah.
and is bad for the environment.
Yeah.
And then they figured out a way to basically do clean nuclear
Yeah,
energy
if
through
they can
fusion.
scale it up, it will be amazing. For like, we won't have any carbon footprint anymore for our energy.
So this is kind of what we need and
Exactly.
what all countries need to adopt so that we can fix the
No more
problem
fossil
we got
fuels
into.
that we need. Yeah.
And
I
is this
like
something?
the sound of a diesel engine.
Is this something
Yeah, but it'll
that
be for like.
could be used for like bad, where
Yes.
they don't want to share? Because I feel like is this American scientists that have figured this out?
It's U.S. scientists. Yeah.
If this
Is
gets
it-
in the hand of Gru
In
and his
California.
minions,
Well, what I'm saying is this something we'd share the technology so we can
Never share.
Well, other countries can stop polluting as well.
Because when we came out with fission, that was what they used for the nuclear weapons that we came up with. That's it makes those. So that's the reason why you're afraid of it becoming a weapon, right?
Well, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm just saying
There it
that.
is.
Well, I'm
called him a pussy. Now he's mad.
I'm saying, will we share this information?
I hope so.
Because we can be clean, and then the other countries are
just
ruined the
polluting
earth,
everything,
and then
and it
it's
doesn't
like,
do anything.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
sure
still on the
it'll
same
be,
earth.
It'll be sold. I'm
Yeah.
sure. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all a business, right?
But well, that's what I'm
You
saying.
don't just give your discoveries to everybody. I'm sure it'll be.
You gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
But also-
and then we'll put you under your
the whole
thumb,
Edison
and then
thing
we'll
and-
manipulate you to give us all the
Versus
treasures that
Tesla.
your entire. I'm serious. Like, your country has treasures. Give us those treasures, and we'll give you some
Yeah.
art. That's
Hon-
right. Isn't that how it works?
New world
honestly-
colonialism.
Yeah, that's how it works. And then we'll suck all those treasures dry, and then you're mad at us, and we stomp your culture flat. And
I looked at this story and I was like, this is the first positive environmental story I've seen in a long time. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking
where
that
I
too.
actually had hope because I gave up after a while. Like every story,
Yeah,
seriously,
nothing matters. Yeah.
every story was it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It can never be turned
Yeah.
around. It's like
I watched the Zac Efron Netflix show. Yeah.
I only watch that because he
Down
is
to
a
earth.
snack.
and
Yeah, yeah.
That guy.
and
He's
then
attractive.
if we don't change by 2030, I'm like, that's too close.
Oh my god, that's a year
Not enough
late.
time.
And I'm like,
Seven.
I'm like, no one's gonna change. No one does nothing. So I just looked at it. I'm like, oh, we're doomed. But then when I saw this, I was like, well, I mean, if people change, now I did see that this will take decades
to implement and
to
stuff
implement
like that, and make it scale it up to
and,
make it so that
know.
houses can actually get it.
But this is a positive, at least,
Yeah,
where it's like,
we're
okay,
on the right road to what we need to be.
This
Because my
is-
dad said it would probably not be in my lifetime that we'd see fusion done well.
he was correct.
Well, yeah. You say I'm going to die soon? Oh my god!
I'm just saying,
Thanks a lot.
Wait a minute. Did you just wish death upon EJ?
How
God.
dare you?
I just
Wow.
I just did the decade and your shirt match. and then it didn't.
That shirt is fused to your titties.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry.
Someone said I look like
You're
Oogie
never
Boogie last
getting that.
week.
My God.
Oh my
Is that a
God.
rash guard?
I've
Anyway,
done nothing.
Sorry.
I come and provide entertainment for you
I'm
guys.
sorry. I feel like I'm in a bullying mood. Tom, as soon as Tom put the air down to see the lady's nipples, I was like, it's a crazy.
Tom's not that
I
diabolical.
said it's Crazy Tuesday, and I started freaking out. I love a good Crazy Tuesday.
so what else?
Look, you like fun.
Definitely. Well, since Tom's having fun, let's go to the trailer that I sent
All
you,
right.
Tom.
All right.
for
Since
Dan.
he's having fun, let's
Yeah,
play
yeah.
a trailer so
Yeah.
he doesn't have fun.
No, no, he'll like this.
No,
He's-
this is definitely.
Oh, okay.
Tom's kids will love this.
Yeah.
This is for the new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's
Is
part
this a
2.
sequel?
This is a sequel, yeah.
Okay.
They already put a teaser trailer out, but this is like a really. Man, this is heartfelt too.
So when is this coming out?
I don't know. I think it's at the end of the trailer. They say
Good job, EJ.
it came out like 5 minutes before I got here. That's why I put it.
Hope I didn't ice your game, man.
June 2nd.
No one my age says those words in that order.
It's just hard to see my little man. Not
The
be
art
my
is
little boy
so
all the
awesome,
time.
dude. It's
Yeah.
so good.
So it's gonna continue the stories of Miles Morales.
Yes.
All right.
And like it's definitely. I think something bad happened right before he's having this conversation with his mom.
Oh, cartoon Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Making sure he's.
that doesn't count.
yeah.
Sorry, Marvel guys.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Hold on, they're gonna get mad, and I'm gonna get mad at you. That does not count.
As a cameo? Or?
No, did
Yeah.
he cut? Because remember, before this is what makes me mad
Yeah.
about you, Marvel cats, is that
Okay.
before Stan Lee passed away,
It's his voice.
It seemed as if they were like, "Quick, say Excelsior 50 million times
They
on your
did.
deathbed," and
They
I
did
think
do
that's
that.
tasteless. And he's laying there dead.
They had him come to the studio and do his cameo. I think he did like 4 of his cameos in a row.
Yeah.
Just so they could have
Think
the
about
filming
what
of it.
you Marvel people
Yeah.
put him through. That poor man.
He's just trying to be surrounded by his family.
He wanted to be around his family. You guys are propping him up and sticking him in there on the
like,
green
say this
screen.
for Spider-Man 10.
Dress up like a barber in
Okay,
Thor Ragnarok.
could
Here you go.
dance just a little bit for the end? They're doing a musical number in Thor at the end of
Pretend
Thor.
like you're talking to Uatu the Watcher.
Yeah, okay. Pretend like you're talking to a raccoon now.
Now, my
outta
sons
here.
loved this movie.
The first one, yes.
So hopefully they'll love this
And
sequel.
they're putting Spider-Man 2099, which is Miguel O'Hara. He's going to be I don't know if he's going to be the villain or like a anti-hero helper.
Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah, because he's Spider-Man 2099, which
Now-
I used to love that comic when it first came out in like the 90s.
So is this the
I think I remember the costuming too.
Yeah, they did the really foil covers of the first ones for like Punisher 2099, Doom 2099,
You're getting me a little
Spidey
bit. Yeah,
2099.
I remember
yeah.
this.
X-Men 2099, yeah.
So without ruining anything or watching the rest of the trailer, is there still the multiverse
Yeah,
involved?
when
There's still other Spider-Man?
Spider-Gwen shows up, and of course all the characters will probably show up again. They'll probably have
the Pig Spider-Man?
Pig Spider-Man, Spider Noir, all that stuff. Yeah, so because it looks like if you play longer in the trailer, they show tons of Spider-Man. They even do Bagman Spider-Man, where he wears a bag over his head and he has like a.
Yeah, that is it. I don't support.
Well, he was trying to protect his identity,
only support
and he can use his
bag woman Spider Girl.
Well,
if
no,
she's an
and he used the
Ugga.
hairs on his face to keep the bag tucked to his head so it doesn't come off.
Well, you have a Spider-Man mask. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He didn't have his costume, so he's like, I have to save the world, and that's why we'll put a bag on his head.
No, you know what? If the choice is the world is destroyed or hero saves us with bag on head,
What kind
just
of bag?
destroy the world.
It's a brown paper bag.
Okay.
Yeah, like the unknown
Because I was
comic.
thinking if
It's
it was
that-
a plastic bag, that's
it's that-
problematic.
yeah,
because
no. It's
kids
that
die that
sexist
way.
It's
joke
like
where
the
ugly girl.
unknown comic.
Yeah.
Can you get the thing Kanye West was wearing? There's lots of
They do that, the black
What are those things
costume.
called?
Yeah.
A balaclava.
What?
Or something. Yeah.
There's lots of different things to.
It's called like a baklava
Anyway,
or
the
something.
baklava?
Yeah,
Nah, isn't that like
if you
a
look it up,
chocolate?
That's what it's called.
What's next, CJ?
Okay, the next thing, definitely, what was we going to talk about? Oh, we got to talk about Cocaine Bear for sure.
No,
I know
we
you
don't.
hated that, but
It's dumb. It's
I
just-
did. Have
Is
you
it
done the
out?
research behind it? No, it's not out till
Yeah,
like
I
February.
know the real story is a lot more boring than this, but like all I saw was the bear doing a line of coke off of a
Off a dead
dismembered
leg,
man, and
yeah.
I'm like, I'm out, dumb. Really, I'm not gonna cheer for that. If you cheer for that and high five your bros, you're a mouth breather.
It's Sharknado.
It's Sharknado. That's
No,
you're
it's-
going
it's-
there to have a good time because it's going to be bad.
No.
You're telling me you
they
have not
could've done
gone to a
better
bad
job.
movie and like you never seen Piranha 3D?
I watched Santa Jaws last week.
Oh, Santa Jaws is so bad, but it's so good. at the
No,
same
I haven't
time.
seen any of that.
Well, all the Sci-Fi Channel.
Although
ones that do
Maisie
that.
and I
don't
did
remember where
watch
it was at.
Teeth last night. That was
Oh, wow.
So, Cocaine Bear, is this going to be a moneymaker for them?
It'll make its money back for sure.
All right.
It won't like break the box office, but it'll make its money
How many
back.
bears were injured during it? Where's the
None.
outrage?
It's all CGI, bro.
Where's the outrage?
What's next? CJ?
Okay. Well, you guys were talking about Wednesday last week or a couple days ago. Did you guys watch it yet?
I have not. Can I watch it with a 7-year-old?
Yes, you can watch it with a 7-year-old.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not
It's
extra
there
scary.
is some stuff that's scary, but it's not. It's like they say, Harry Potter kind of scary.
Okay, so it's not
So like
anything
the
close.
Mentors would probably be the closest thing to that.
All right.
There's a little bit of blood, a slight gore, but not Stranger Things gore.
Okay, so Stranger Things way more.
It was more scary
Okay.
this season, yes.
And
than
then
this is, yes.
Sweet Tooth. It's like
See, I never saw Sweet Tooth, and I know yeah,
Nobody watched that.
yeah.
I'm gonna take a chance and just watch it with my son.
You should watch it with your son. I think it'll be fine. If you like the original Addams Family movies with like who was it?
MC Hammer?
Yeah, MC Hammer, Christina Ricci, Liz Wednesday.
say, what they want to say.
If you like those back in the day, because Christina Ricci doesn't reprise her role as Wednesday, but she is in the show.
Oh my gosh, she does Black Snake Moan.
I'm not joking. I was just gonna make this.
I knew you were. I knew you were. I knew
You
you
guys
were.
spend too much time together.
He's got his fun hat on. He's got his secretly. He's wearing fun underwear, fun socks, or something. You're
Tell us
having
to do
fun
some Samuel
today.
Jackson
Because
impressions
I was
right now.
like Christina Ricci. She's horny. I've
She's
seen
not
it.
horny.
I've seen it.
She's so horny that a black guy had to chain her to his house. I told Maisie that. I was like, if you get too
Then
horny,
you gotta
I'll
watch
chain you to my house.
Definitely watch Wednesday because she's not like that
Is
at
that
all.
what happens? That's what modern day dads do. Look, if you get too horny, I'm chaining you to the house. That's the rule.
God damn it. All right. What's
But
next?
definitely, if you get a chance, watch it. What's the
How
next
many? Is it like a 10-part series?
I
Like
think
it's
it was
still
like
going?
7 or
it's like
8. It's not long.
And Tim
Are they
Burton.
30-minute episodes?
They're like 45.
Okay.
Yeah. You can burn through it in a weekend for sure.
And then
if
does
you
it
wanted
have an
to.
ending or
It has a season 2 probably.
Okay.
I think they did announce they're going to do season 2.
Next season's going to be coming
Yeah.
Thursday.
It also has the lady from Game of Thrones, a really tall lady. Oh, what's her name?
The one that sings in Ted Lasso. I hated that episode. God,
The
I
boss?
hated
The
the Christmas.
tall blonde
I
boss?
hated
No,
her.
no, that's a different
They
lady. She
shoehorned
was
her
also
singing
Captain
because
Phasma from the
she's
new
like-
Star Wars.
She's like, I can sing. And they're like, oh, it's great. Well, this is a really poorly written Christmas episode. Let's have you sing on the street with Ted Lasso. It's the only episode of Ted Lasso I hate. I absolutely
There was something about
hate it.
that. It didn't have something to do with a pandemic or something. Like there was a reason why that
Were they doing
episode
like
came
a-
out.
We can't get them all
A
in one
bottle
room,
episode
so let's
where
get
there's
her on
only
the
one scene
yeah.
or something like that.
I saw some social media story about like,
Terrible.
the
Yes.
real reason the Christmas episode of Ted Lasso was made. So that made me think that there was some other reason
Yeah.
why they shoehorned that episode in, or like
Was
know,
it
I
a
don't
fake news, like a political thing?
I don't
They're like, they're waging a war on Christmas.
Well, speaking of Christmas, then let's go to the next one. Did you see the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas?
know. I did.
Did you like it? I really liked it.
Sam hated it.
I
You didn't like it, Sam?
What was it?
The Christmas special for Guardians of the Galaxy?
I did hate it.
I hated
Oh,
it
really?
too.
You didn't like the song?
Well, I
that the guy
think
sings?
okay.
He explained it to me, and I go, that makes more sense.
I
Okay.
think that she's too young because she doesn't know the Star
Oh.
Wars Christmas debacle that was
Yeah.
trashed years
No.
ago. That's way before your time.
Oh, yeah. Where
And
they
I didn't
were the
watch
first
Star Wars
showing
until
of
a couple,
Boba Fett.
couple years ago.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So my idea was that if you don't get that, then when you're going to watch this,
You're
you're going to go like,
missing a
this is
little
a
bit,
hunk
yeah.
of crap.
Yes, that's exactly what I felt.
Okay.
I think I got it right on that one.
Oh, wow.
So
I felt bad that Sam wasted her time watching. So I should have.
Yeah, I wish somebody told me.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have watched
if you'd have said I'm going to
You
watch
need some
that,
background of it to
Yeah, I
understand
know.
it better?
I was like,
Okay.
this is terrible.
I'm
writing.
trying not to ruin it for people that both like Star Wars and Guardians of
Yeah.
the Galaxy, but
There's
just-
no life day.
I think you got to watch both.
It's just
Yeah.
real cheesy.
well,
Oh, super cheesy.
and like my sons, they were like they enjoyed it because they
Like Drax and
they-
Mantis are going crazy doing some dumb things.
They
yeah.
they like
I
the
need
characters,
this funny small man.
but they didn't
it's
understand.
not funny.
The
It's dumb.
I don't want to give it away, but they didn't understand who the hell the cameo was, and I had to explain that, and then like at the end, like
Oh my God, was it Bill Murray again?
No,
No,
Kevin
no.
Bacon.
He's canceled, right?
They drag some stupid person
Well, I
out there
don't wanna
nobody
ruin it.
cares about.
Ah,
Oh,
who
look,
cares?
Spoiled
Hey,
it. He
look,
spoiled it.
everybody.
No, he's in the trailer, so it's fine.
Look,
Like when
everybody,
they
it's
show it on Disney
Roseanne
Plus.
Barr.
Anyway,
Hey,
I'd explain who Kevin Bacon was, and then it was kind of like Daniel said, you have to know the original joke to understand what
Right.
they're doing, and my sons didn't, so it was like a very mediocre 5.
Yeah, because you don't
where,
understand.
they're
Because like
"Eh."
they mentioned
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon in the first movie, and like how he's like in Footloose, he takes over the town and helps them get sticks out of their butts.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Because my sons don't know Footloose, they don't know Kevin Bacon, they don't know
Yeah.
any of it. They're just like,
Never saw Tremors.
They're just said more Groot. That's all they care about.
Buff
Baby
Groot.
They're
I don't
like
like
Baby
Buff
Groot.
Groot.
Yeah,
I don't like that costume.
I don't know anything about it because I don't watch these baby movies, and I'm certainly not going to watch some movie where the superhero is a stick.
Next story.
Okay, next. I know Dan probably played this game. Did you play Last of Us?
I have not played it, but I know exactly.
Yeah.
what it
Have you
is.
seen the trailers for it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
looks-
it's on the HBO franchise. It looks amazing.
It does look really good.
And it's the Mandalorian. He's the guy.
So what is this? Explain it to me.
Basically it's a zombie apocalypse, but instead of like it's still biological zombies, but instead of it being like a virus, it's like a fungal infection. Like those ants that get that fungus infection and then crawl to the top of stuff and basically become more zombies.
Yeah.
That's what the basis of this zombie apocalypse is. Except it goes into people.
Gotcha.
So they're like zombie monsters with fungus growing off them. And
is this a movie or a series?
It's a series on HBO.
Okay.
And it
based
has
on a game.
what is it? Pablo Pascal, is that his name? The guy
Pablo
that plays
Pascal,
the
yeah.
Mandalorian. He's the lead in it, and the girl is Lillian Warmont from Game of Thrones. She's the little girl from it.
And is this rated R? Like
Yeah, it's gonna
okay.
definitely be rough. Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
gonna be Walking Dead. Don't let your kids watch this.
Gotcha.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we were done with zombies. I thought we'd
Dude,
move
they're
on.
doing like 3 spin-offs of The Walking Dead.
I thought we'd move on
After
to
they
something
finished
else.
the season, I was like, they're
Oh,
doing 3 more.
God.
I'm like, what are you doing? And then now they have smart zombies. I'm like, oh, as soon as you do that, you're done.
Oh,
with
hold
me.
on a second. Smart zombies.
Smart zombies, like the one will pick up a rock and try to break a window, or they
Oh,
can climb walls and stuff like that.
I
I'm
like that when I thought we were going to get into like really twisted stuff where we like weaponize the zombies. Like, remember when Michonne had the 2 zombies on the chain?
Those were her like brothers-in-law or something like that.
Yeah,
wasn't
and
it?
then she had them as a weapon. Like, that's what I want.
Well, she was using that as like a decoy, so no zombies would come near her because she had 2 zombies.
She ripped their
with her.
jaws off so they couldn't bite her.
Yeah, but they'll beat you up. They'll grab you and rip your arms off.
Yeah.
Well, no, they have the arms.
I think their arms.
Oh,
cut
she
off.
cut their arms
she cut
off?
their
Oh, yeah,
off,
she sliced their arms
All
off.
they could do is walk. That's all they could do, yeah.
I'd leave them each one arm, and I'd teach them. Whack them.
Use them as tag dolls.
So what's that HBO show called?
It's on Last of Us. It's called Last of Us.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
But it's a video game.
It's a video game. It's based off a video game. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Definitely
You
do
probably
that.
like that. What else you got?
Well, okay. We got either Loki Season 2, Generation V, which is the Boys spinoff, or Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Let's talk about Indiana Jones.
Why are they doing that?
Why not?
Like, the last one was
I'm
so
okay with it.
bad.
Yeah,
Money
but maybe
grab.
that's why.
Maybe they're trying to make up for it.
I went and
or are they
saw
just
that
digging
one.
deeper.
Everybody
My problem.
I almost cursed.
Is
Everybody
LaBeouf-
crapped all over it.
Is LaBeouf in there?
It doesn't look like LaBeouf's in it.
I saw
Yeah.
it. I didn't think it
I
was.
think LaBeouf's laying low for a while.
Yeah, I think LaBeouf
Okay.
needs to lay low.
I
for
didn't
a
think it
while.
was terrible. It was just an Indiana Jones movie about, and the alien ship flies away at the end or whatever.
Yeah, but
I
it's
remember
usually
that.
supernatural instead of like extraterrestrial. That's
yeah,
the
I think
difference.
they were trying something different.
Yeah.
But it like to me, Indiana Jones is so awesome, and like it's such a part of my like me being a little kid. That if they want to do another one, and if they want to de-age Harrison
Yeah, they're doing
Ford,
that, yeah.
if they want to like, go ahead, do it. Maybe you can redeem yourself.
The
Why
only,
not?
The only thing that I had a problem with the last one
Was
is
the fridge?
No, when Goof
Nuke in the
LaBeouf
fridge.
was swinging from vine to vine.
Yeah.
in
And
some
keeping up with a truck.
in some extraordinary like feat of it's almost supernatural at that point. And the whole thing with Indiana Jones is like the joke of him punching the guy and the guy not moving and he shoots him because he's just a normal guy. He's like he's not
Yeah.
that strong. He's not that
he's
extraordinary.
clever.
Yeah.
Clever. It's
And
kind of
he
like
has
MacGyver.
he's clever with a horseshoe up his rear end.
He-
He did it again, that Indy.
He's got a whip. He but he's kind of bumbly a little bit.
Do you remember the song?
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
But now you have Old Man Jones. I think it's too old. Harrison Ford
No,
is
bring
too
back
old.
Sean Connery. So he's like,
That-
It's not with open hand.
Where
You
are
can do-
all the women?
so
Only if he does the Barbara
Jr.
Walters interview.
so is there
You know,
some sort of?
sometimes your woman will push you.
Do they have a younger predecessor, kind of like they did in the last one with the LaBeouf?
I hope not. I hope they just do it like Indiana Jones. He's doing his own adventure.
We're too old though.
He's gonna be the Red Hulk in the new Marvel movies. He's
Harrison Ford
Yeah,
is Red
yes, he's
Hulk?
taking
Old
over for
Red Hulk.
But they can turn
Thunderbolt
that-
Ross.
but
He's
that-
gonna be the Red Hulk.
But most of that is going to be CGI of him as a Red Hulk.
They're only using him as the
Old
as
Man
the
Jones
voice.
has to do some of the own stunts and like has to throw a punch that looks believable. That doesn't look like an old
he's
man.
gonna be running around with a walker on with his whip.
I want to see that.
They'll have, who's the hottest
Damn it.
young guy right now?
It's probably Chris Pratt. They put him in everything.
Mads Mikkelsen's in there.
You could
Yeah,
throw
yeah.
a Harry Styles
Mads
in
Mikkelsen
there
is the
as a
bad guy.
young British.
But he's still fighting Nazis in like the 1960s.
You need
is when
a
it's
young
taking place.
British boy that comes to study with you abroad or
Well,
something.
you could
know.
do a Chris Pratt or
Maybe you need a girl. Maybe they do a girl.
Or
that-
Tom Holland. Put
that
him
comes,
in there.
Comes
Make
to
Spider-Man.
study with Indiana Jones.
Although I
I
think
think it is going to be a girl.
Yeah, they always do that. Look, I
Yeah.
can write all this stuff because I know what they're gonna do.
Well, yeah, that's usually Hollywood.
And
They're
they're like,
pushing that. Like,
yeah.
let's put a woman in it or a person of color.
Who's
that's usually
they
their-
take the girl who plays Wednesday and put her in the
No, it's
Indiana
the
Jones.
chick
Jenna
from
Ortega would be
Fleabag.
amazing.
Is the
It's
chick
the
from
chick from
Fleabag?
Fleabag,
Oh,
yeah.
there you go. There you go.
Which is
But
interesting.
speaking of Wednesday, she doesn't blink that whole show.
yeah, I saw.
Yeah, she doesn't blink a single time. Even when she's doing the dance that's all over TikTok and everything.
Everyone acts like that's like something huge,
Yeah.
and
Can
I'm like,
you?
well, they edit.
Yeah,
you
I
guys
know.
understand how editing works, right?
But could you do that? Could you act like with your eyes open the whole
I
time?
could
don't
if
think
somebody
that would-
edited me to do
that
it.
bothers
my
You
ass.
just do a bunch of takes.
Look, man, if I was getting a couple million like she was,
They also-
I'll not blink.
they'll put some gel eye drops in to lubricate. You know what I'm saying? They got
I
tricks. They
guess,
got
man.
Hollywood tricks.
things I can't do.
Plus, honestly, they probably do it with CGI, where it's just they realize
I
like
think-
they just take out the blinks.
I think
and
she
then,
said she did the lion's share,
Yeah.
but who knows?
Yeah,
you know, I mean, well, you're gonna say whatever you're gonna say.
now with the there's some videos on the internet that I've seen
Uh-oh.
that
No.
has like the
You don't
Adam-
believe 'em now?
No, Adam's Family videos.
Pornos?
Oh,
I know.
just saying that.
with the
Sometimes
hand.
it's just the hand.
I've seen it, and they're high quality. It's not like low
Yeah.
budget; it's higher
Yeah,
budget. I don't-
da-da-da-da.
You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
send
yeah.
me the link. I hope it's not Uncle Fester because he's kind of gross.
Oh, he's
He's very gross. He's there in the background.
He's festering.
Ew.
I'm telling you,
and
it's
Lurch.
there. It's there.
Wouldn't Lurch be in the background?
Yeah, it's a Well, they can only get so much.
They can't have everybody.
But,
Send me a link.
But there's Pugs League or whatever.
Too young.
No, he's there. He's there.
No, Pugsley should never be there.
What else?
Is it a crossover with Scooby Doo too?
No.
No, but I do like. I go revisit a Velma.
Every once in a
Velma.
I like a big fat Velma. Big fat Velma. That's what I like.
What do we got?
Brown
Okay,
skirt,
should we move over
big brown skirt Velma.
Should we move over to sports?
Sure.
Definitely got.
I'm sorry. I'm reading the premise behind the new Indiana Jones, and
Yeah.
he's like recruiting, quote, former Nazis to help him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now we're making the Nazis good guys?
No,
Well,
they're
it's
not
like
good
Operation
guys.
Paperclip.
It's just,
They're
it's
rehabilitated.
him.
Okay.
It's Kanye West.
They're like, I only did not sing for a little bit, and then I was like, all right, I'm out of this.
I wonder if they
Right.
question that. I wonder if they're like, "Are you sure you want to do the Nazi thing? Because it's been kicked around a lot."
I know.
lately.
We've
Maybe
done it
we
in
should
like
avoid
3 of the
it."
movies.
No, we're doing it.
We skipped it on the 4th one. It was Russian, so.
So, what do we got for sports?
Well, definitely got to talk about the World Cup and how it's down to the Final 4.
Yep.
It
Which
is.
look at
There's
Morocco.
a match
I'm
on
cheering
right
for
now.
Morocco. Yeah, it's starting right now. Right?
We
Did
got
it?
Morocco. We got France.
Argentina.
We got
and Croatia.
Argentina and
Yeah.
Croatia.
The game
Croatia, not really surprising. They were in the final, the last time this rolled around.
Yeah.
France, certainly not surprising. They have a darn good team.
Yeah.
Morocco, totally surprising.
Was
Yeah.
it France
Argentina,
and
not really
Croatia
surprised,
last time? Was it
It
France?
was France and Croatia
in
last
the
time.
final.
Yeah.
If it's the same final this year, it's kind of a bummer, right, for everybody?
It is. What
Yeah.
you would want this year, I think you'd want defending champion against Morocco, which probably
You don't want
won't
Argentina
happen.
and Messi because he said it's his last
I don't
one.
care about Messi. I mean, I like Messi and he's the best, but man, whatever. I
So I would like to see Argentina versus Morocco. I think that
be
would
a
be
good
fun
game.
to watch.
Morocco's been playing really well. They're
Yeah, but
playing
they
some
gotta get
good
past
soccer,
France.
man. Wow, good luck with
Yeah,
that.
good
And
luck,
the best
yeah.
thing that ever happened to France is one of their players apparently couldn't make it or got injured right before there, and then they called up. And I hated when this guy left Arsenal. They called up a guy named Olivier Giroud. And he's an older dude now. He's got crazy pompadour hair, and he's like a bit of a womanizer. My wife hates him. But he played for Arsenal. And I always liked the way he played. And man, they called him up, and he's been killing it. Like he's literally coming off the bench. He's playing great. His awareness has been good. He's had a couple of good placements, good header.
I wonder, because with it being every 4 years, like how many of the same players, like let's say it is Croatia and France in the final again, right?
Mbappe's been there before and won.
So it's like 2 times the World Cup's going to have the same final.
Luka Modric, who plays for Croatia,
Yeah.
he's been there before in the final.
Yeah, but I wonder how many of the actual team was there last year.
Oh, you could look it up.
4 years ago.
Probably
you
like
could
they're
definitely
crossing
look it
over
up.
Half of
the
them,
roster.
3/4.
Probably not half.
Um,
Because they rotate out a lot of your middle.
It's 4 years.
A lot of your middle guys will go, and then they'll bring in youth for fresh
No,
legs.
no.
But then you want some of your older guys in there because they know how to react under the pressure. They know the decisions that you make game day. They know how to manage, new positions and new tactics you might be implementing.
Well, that's why I'm saying it's even more impressive to me that if half the team is different and they still
You're
made
coming
it to the
back, yeah.
finals, like it's like back in the '90s when Dallas kept making it to the Super Bowl over and over. It's like
Yeah,
the same
in the early
superstar
90s.
team.
Yeah.
So it made
49ers
sense.
did that.
Yeah. And then it's like, but these teams being like half different is more impressive to me. That you still manage to make it. It's so hard to get there, and not that they're there yet, but
I think it's a little more volatile too to fight for position. Like
there's so many huge upsets.
Yeah,
this
but
year.
you could make an argument that if we had to do this with football, that you could like get some of your main guys in there, like your center, some of your defensive players are always going to be there, right?
Yeah.
And they're not going to really change because they're not. I don't know. I don't want to say it's completely different games, but in soccer, it's the propensity of you getting injured or not making it or whatever is pretty high.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, by the time you're hearing this,
one of the games will be done today.
Yeah.
The next one's tomorrow.
I felt really bad for England. We have a lot of listener friends that either like our buddy Richard that's in the BDM group. I felt horrible for him. Even Butler texted me and said, "Hey, I'm watching the game."
Oh man,
I shouldn't have texted Butler. I was like, I think you guys got it in the bag. I shouldn't have texted him that.
Well, that's what he gets for putting the pictures in Tom's wallet.
When's
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's payback.
when's the final? Is it
2 weeks? Next week?
It's December 18th.
Okay.
The final.
Yeah, next week.
Okay. So next story.
Okay, next story. The NBA is renaming its trophies in a lot of them. The regular season MVP is going to be renamed the Michael Jordan Award.
That's not problematic to people.
No, I don't think
okay.
so. I don't think so. And then like Hakeem Olajuwon, the Defensive Player of the Year award, and then Wilt Chamberlain is going to be the Rookie of the Year award. So they're actually naming the trophies.
Why do you
now.
have to give it a person's name? Why can't it just be Rookie of the Year?
Because they do that with all the stuff, like the Cy Young or the Heisman. They're all named after actual players.
I understand. I'm just saying, like, what could it
Were they named after players before?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, I know not before. No, they were just called the MVP, and that
Gotcha.
was all.
Yeah.
They never had a name to it.
when they do this, is it now forever?
Yes, it'll be that forever unless something problematic happens.
Gotcha.
Like if Michael Jordan
That's dangerous.
starts wearing a Kanye
You don't want
mask
to. You
or
don't want
something
to
like
hitch to anything. Didn't we learn anything from Jared from Subway?
Yeah,
you don't want to
yeah,
hitch
right?
to anything, man.
I guess it does make it more special for the player because they're now associated with these legends, and so that's probably it. Although when it
But
gets,
you already are. Like if the award is MVP and it's an award that Michael Jordan has won the most, and you win it too,
You're in that club.
You're in that club. You don't need it to be the Michael Jordan MVP award. I don't care about that. I won the MVP award.
Yeah.
Don't name it the Michael Jordan award. What if I want to win it more times than Michael Jordan? Now you're just reminding me of what I'm not going to do. You might be extinguishing a bit of my fire.
The Heisman's the same way. Like the Heisman is just the MVP of college football.
I think you should just call it "You Are the Best,"
and like the Outland Trophy.
You the best.
And
you don't need a name on it.
Now with Michael Jordan, this probably won't happen ever because he's just such an iconic name. But with other, like in an NFL, when they do this, like I don't even know what the hell their players are referencing. You know what I'm saying? Because they're old timey players that I've never even heard of. Well, I've heard of them, but I don't know how good they were. I don't know how iconic they were.
Like the Nagurski Award and stuff like that. There's a bunch of rewards. There's a reward for the kicker named after the punter that just died.
You Matter
Well, it's
award.
like the Cy Young. Like I don't know anything about Cy Young.
Cy Young used to be an old time pitcher, and like he would.
I know,
yeah.
but I don't know anything
He's not
about
the guy
Cy
that got
Young.
struck by lightning
Like,
and threw a perfect game after that.
I don't really know anything about Vince Lombardi, really.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like that.
I always think
I don't know that much.
fish.
I don't know that much about
Cy Young.
sports
I think
history.
of a cyborg.
Well, that's the thing. Like you want to enshrine your league with history because that makes it more important, right?
Nah.
Well,
like the Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup's named after a person.
Lord Stanley.
Lord Stanley, yeah.
But no one knows why or how good that person was.
Are we supposed to care about that?
They
Maybe
do.
that's
a
the
lot
problem.
of people do if they're really into the sport.
Yeah. How many people? If you polled randomly 100 people on the street to tell you who Vince Lombardi was, how many people would get that right? I feel like 5
I couldn't
out of
get it
100.
right. I'd say he was a football guy. That's what I would say.
You didn't say he was the Packers coach?
No, I don't know.
Really?
That. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
Well, he's the first team to win the Super Bowl. That's the reason why.
don't know any of that.
But I feel like very little people know that.
I don't
like,
care about
5
that.
out of 100, I feel.
I
would
only
know
care
that.
about what's happening now.
I feel like they were like, I've heard of Vince Lombardi trophy,
The
like
trophy,
the
yeah,
Super Bowl
probably,
trophy,
yeah.
but like, who was Vince Lombardi? And people
Yeah, but
like,
usually when you hear that, you like if you're like me, I go on the internet and find out what happened.
Weren't a lot of these
that?
awards named after men who said the N-word?
Well, they all said
Are we
N-word.
pulling
Yeah,
down
I'm just-
monuments right
I'm
now?
just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. We naming awards and trophies after people that were winging around bad words.
They don't take the award away for that. Way worse.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or we're talking about Jerry Jones and the picture he
Hey,
was in.
he was a curious little boy.
What was that picture? I tried to
It
find
was
the picture.
him in like a racial protest for
they
like.
were preventing kids from going to
Yeah,
his school,
it was
and he was in the
segregation.
picture. Yeah,
It was like pro-segregation, and he's in the background with his stupid little Goofus and Gallon flat haircut
definitely
with a
him.
stupid Madras shirt on. He looks like he's going to eat a hot dog with his dad at the Speedway.
Michael Che had a good joke
God,
on
it was
Saturday Night
terrible.
Live about it.
Where did they find this? So they just found it somewhere?
And it looks just like him, too. It's like, you look at it, and you're like, there's a man
There's
that sold
Jerry
his
Jones.
McMuffins.
All right, what else?
Okay, next. What about Deion Sanders leaving his school to go to Colorado and
Well,
telling people
why-
I'm bringing my Louis with me?
Yeah, why was that such a big deal, though? Why isn't he allowed
Because
to
he's
do
telling
that?
people, hey, if you think it's going to be an easy ride, just hit the transfer portal, which is kind of disconcerting when your new coach is like, get the hell out of here.
I mean,
So,
I
explain
thought,
what
I
it
like
is.
It. I thought
Tell
it
us
was
the story.
Okay,
shaking it
so
up.
Deion Sanders used to coach, I think it's at Jackson State was the school he was at.
Yeah.
And then he got the new job at Colorado, which everyone thought he was going to stay at Jackson State because he built up these historically black colleges and brought them to prominence. They got a 5-star recruit, which never happens at that level. They're like Division III, I think it is. And for him to be there and make it like give them prominence
Bringing
and
his
stuff
name
like that. Yeah, bringing
there
that.
helped.
They were making the thing bigger, and then he's like, okay, I got a good job at Colorado. Peace. I'm going to go to this new school. And then he tries to shake it up by saying, I'm going to be the bad guy when I get there. He's going to be like Batman from Stand By Me.
Yeah.
No, well, I
They used
mean,
to call me
so,
Noodles, and now they call me Batman.
so
Exactly,
Colorado just offered him more money and then he went.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but I don't understand why
it's a
people are
Division I
faulting him at
school.
all. I mean, like, this is what
Like, how
happened.
dare Deion Sanders like money? Like, that
Right.
was his thing.
Yeah, didn't this happen with old
That
Frost?
was his thing.
Didn't that happen with Frost, Scott Frost, when
Yes.
he went?
Well,
and,
it was his alma mater.
Yeah.
I would leave too.
I mean, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I
mean,
don't blame him.
Everybody knows Deion Sanders likes money.
He was the first person or one of the first people to ever have like the money sign earrings in the NFL. If you don't believe me, load up Madden because this month's Madden is all about Deion Sanders, and the opening screen is his earrings.
Oh man,
It's one of the only things I
him
know
and-
about him.
Yeah, it really
No,
is.
my favorite
I
is
don't
him
know
running the
anything about it,
40.
but I know he likes money.
It's Combine Day. He ran 40 in his jeans and still ran like a 4.3. I
That's
still love that
a
story.
lot of urban legend BS.
No,
Like, he
no, I
got
don't
out of that
think so.
limo,
You know
he
what's
ran
funny? A lot of people
the fastest time, but there's no.
But there's so much corroboration of it. There's
Yeah,
like
there
a
are a
bunch
lot
of
of
people
people
that
that
agree
say
that
in-
happened.
in his
yeah.
day.
Yeah. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things. There's no proof of anything, and we had
Everyone's a liar, is what you're saying.
I
Okay.
like to believe it.
Also-
I like to believe it.
It's a great story.
Also, it wasn't the 1900s. There were full cameras
It
everywhere.
was 93. They probably have it on
Why-
film.
yeah, if they have it on film, why don't we see the film? Because it doesn't
'Cause they
exist.
didn't care about it
Because
back
of
in the
GD
day.
urban legend that everybody's just spreading around.
Like
because
Bo
they-
Jackson, all those like
Yeah,
killing a pig with a rock.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this stuff is urban
I killed a
legend.
pig with a rock. Is that what we're talking about?
Is that the one that stole your monster dog tag?
No. Yeah,
What else we got?
Yeah, I
here?
killed that pig too.
Come on.
Put her ass to
Come
sleep.
on.
Put her ass to sleep.
What are
Stop.
you, Ice
That's,
Cube now?
Yeah, Ice Cube. I'm glad you got that. I'm glad you got that. Oh my gosh.
Did you see Ice Cube with
married.
old Mark Davis?
That picture's so bad.
And when they're and by the way, I'm sure when the Raiders watched them last
Yeah.
Thursday
Yeah.
against Baker Mayfield led Rams,
Come back.
who
He was
Baker
on the team for
Mayfield
42 hours.
got there
And scores
yesterday.
2 touchdowns.
And then he brought 98 yards and he beat you. Like Mark Davis is in there. Like they switched to the owner's box. They're like, there's Mark Davis with Ice Cube. And he's sitting there with
How much for
stupid
me to
haircut.
get to Mark Davis? My hair is long enough. My hair is long enough now.
No. You need a longer
You
because
need it longer.
he's
No,
got
it
a-
has to be longer
I'll
for
get
sure.
John to start training.
I can
it.
do the Mark Davis.
You can do the Mark Davis
I'll
for
get
sure.
John to start training it.
Yeah, because mine's long
You need
enough.
to
you
get the
can-
fluff out of it. That's the
and then
oh
you
my
have to
god.
cut it like a.
Look, I have like a
straight-
little boy haircut.
Yeah, no. The Mark Davis is done on purpose.
Oh my god, you're pretty close.
No.
You gotta go straight across. You
Yeah.
got too much of a swoop.
Yeah, there's too much swoop. You got to push it. Yeah, there you go.
But it's done horribly, and
Is that better?
It's
it's
pretty
too far.
close, yeah.
It's got to be
You
a
being
straight
so hot probably helps.
Caesar with a weird. Anyway,
I want it. I want it.
I was like, who is his wife? She's actually beautiful.
It's a statement haircut.
It is
Who,
a
Mark
statement,
Davis or
yeah.
Ice Cube?
Mark Davis.
Okay.
Oh, you're rich.
Of course.
Stinking
Yeah, she's
rich.
there because he's attractive for sure.
So
He has a good personality.
Somebody also
No
reminded
way.
me.
He
all you-
doesn't. He doesn't.
All you needed to know about Dion, somebody said in the chat room, I'd like to thank Kendall for saying this is from Dion. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
Yep, that's a quote from him for sure.
You
Yep.
should have
But
just
also-
read that and then been like, yes, of course, this is what happened.
Every other coach, like takes the best job offered, and no one gets flack for it. But I think
Oh, they
it's-
do. They do. It just depends on because sometimes the situation's not good in Colorado because they've been so bad for so long. Why would you take over? You just made that team really good.
They get flack from the actual school because they're mad that they, obviously. But anybody else that doesn't care, who cares? But this scenario, they're like, oh, Deion Sanders, you left this school that needed your name to promote itself, and then you went to this. So it's almost like he's getting S because he's like, this would have been a charitable thing
Yeah.
for you to stay
Yeah.
to stay there instead of like, I know everybody in the school.
So you're saying Jackson State, if he stayed, it'd be like taking advantage of him.
Well, I'm just saying that he's unfairly being criticized because he's taking a job that's better, that pays more, that everybody would take, but he's being criticized because he's Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
And you can make the argument that maybe he doesn't need the money. He's made a lot of money, but if you're getting a better job, that's your choice to take it.
Yeah,
Like,
when
you don't
people
have to
choose stuff,
be-
I used to get all bent out of shape or what. No, it's
you don't have to be
not.
forced to
As
stay
long
there
as you're
because
your best decision for yourself, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not his responsibility to lend his name out to a school that needs it more help than Colorado. Anyway, what story?
Well, let's talk about the NFL. Like, how'd you do this week on gambling?
Horrible.
He's not doing good. Why did you bring that up?
I love that because it's my favorite thing. Because I know he never does
all
good.
I needed Kyler Murray to do was score 5 points.
His ACL's done.
10 points, maybe.
He was playing me again.
Yeah, I was playing.
And he already had me beat. I texted him. I didn't even watch the game. I was so mad that CeeDee Lamb and who did I have? Waddle and CeeDee Lamb. Garbage.
I was up by 15.
Cowboys almost lost.
We're going. Me versus Daniel. I got Kyler Murray, and Daniel's got Connor. Right.
Okay,
the Arizona's running back.
That's all I had left.
And then I was like, well, all I need to do is score like 5 to 10 points.
Yeah, one touchdown, you're done.
And Connor's not going to catch up with me. It's going to be fine. So and me blows out.
First play.
I'm not joking. I turned it on, and he's sitting on the court. And I'm like, what? And then I was like, are they showing something from last year? Like, I was like, what's happening? And I'm like, going. I
didn't even look at it. Andrew goes, you hear about Kyler Murray? I go, what are you talking about? She's like, he's out. He got out first play. This is after the game was over.
6 points he scored. The one run.
The one run,
And then I text Daniel. I'm like, you won, buddy. You won because Colt McCoy's going to come in. They're going to run the ball heavy. Yep. And then Connor's going to get a bunch of yards.
Yeah.
And he barely got it. He's going to get 17 points.
But he's also going to get a bunch of check down passes. We're in a PPR league, and we're done. And, of course, I lost. And also, I lost all my teaser bets with Arizona. I teased Arizona up to plus 7.5, thinking at least I'll keep it close. And they would have against
Kyler Murray was playing.
Kyler Murray. But,
that's a good game.
Of course, Colt McCoy, and Belichick against rookie quarterbacks or against like a quarterback comes in, like he can adjust quickly. And I knew I was done. Lost all my bets. This is the worst gambling year of all I've ever had.
Oh,
I'm
no
not
bonus
joking.
for Samantha.
I told myself, I'm like, stick to the procedure. It does. There's ups and downs. Like this week will be better.
God, you're giving yourself a gut check.
Oh my God.
Because I'm like,
giving
it's just
yourself a gut check.
I'm like,
he's questioning
he's
everything
cracking
now.
up.
Because I'm like, it's just math. As long as you bet early, you get the best of the line.
Are you still thinking about stopping?
You win more.
The house always wins.
He was having a conversation with Crystal about not doing this again. She was like sitting down with him and talking about you're making yourself miserable. You're not even enjoying this.
The house always wins if you play dumbass parlays and all this stuff and you get the worst of the number. But you can have a chance to win if you get the best of the number early, and then you get some closing line value and you have good informed bets. All teasers have been horrible this year. Like, I'm down. I don't even because I have so many books and I paid some bookie out of some Cash App I have. He's in Georgia or something. I think North Carolina.
Yes, Major Retailer Green.
It's a return of Mr. Red Shoes.
Because I was like, I haven't lost that. I was like, that one big lump sum. And then I was like, it's worse than I thought. Oh God! And then I was like, BetOnline. I go to BetOnline. I'm like, it's way less than I thought. I'm like, XBet. Anyway, it's bad.
I use Apple Pay with a company card to buy. I like drinking Tall Boy Coors Lights, and I put a couple on the company card this morning, and it got declined. There's nothing more embarrassing than getting declined when you're buying a Tall Boy.
Well, we got to go, EJ.
Yeah, we do.
What's real quick, the theory that Tom Brady goes
to the Raiders?
No, Raiders.
No, I've heard back to New England.
The Raiders or New England. Those are the two.
He's not going to the Raiders.
I don't know.
It'd be funny if he went back to New England. I think that'd be dope.
Well,
why not? Just do it.
Yeah. The only question, he might have went to the 49ers, but they signed that big contract with Jimmy G.
Still nobody to throw to on New England, right? There's no receivers on New England.
They've got a couple guys here and there. Yeah. Their offensive line is better, but you're right. They're still, and I mean, what's his name was hurt last night too.
Devontae Parker.
Parker was hurt.
He went out.
Ramondre was hurt. It was just left and right.
Everybody's hurt.
Everyone's backup.
He's done, right? He can't go back.
Yeah, Tom Brady should just retire. And
his wife's in Brazil on the beach, and she looks awesome.
Although it would be the worst ending, though. It's like, man,
because he came came back
But
for
they
this.
might still win their
but
division because
some-
the NFC South is so bad.
Well, let's hope, 'cause
sometimes
it ain't
you
looking
get,
good.
Sometimes you get the worst ending, though, dude.
I can't wait till they win their
Every story's
division
a
because
tragedy
I will
if you wait
bet
long enough.
everything I have against them.
Yeah, I would too.
Wow.
Because
Yeah, they're not good.
And Tom always loses, so let's take the bets against him.
You're right. You're right.
I mean,
of
we
course,
knew the Falcons weren't going to be good, but man,
They still can win. They
but-
can still win that division.
What are we, game and a half back?
there's still this thing that
The
Tom
only
Brady.
teams that are not in the playoffs are the Texans, and there's like three teams. The Broncos, and what's the other team?
Oh man,
There's three teams that are out of the playoffs. That's it. Everyone else has a chance to still make the
The
playoffs.
Broncos thing makes me so happy. You know what? I'm gonna I haven't talked to this guy in 10 years. I'm gonna text Joe Bronco. Just
Talking about Russell Wilson and how he's a robot.
You just got to kick people when
Oh,
they're down.
man.
Yeah. What's
They,
going on?
Have you
with
seen
Russell Wilson?
Have you
He
seen
got
Travis
knocked out.
Kelsey's quote about him?
Uh-uh.
And how he's like has that stepdad energy, that trying to be nice to him, and like it doesn't make sense.
He's a weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all right, we gotta go.
Okay,
All right,
love you
EJ,
guys. Talking about MyCon. Okay, bye.
MyCon, go check it out. We'll
March
talk more.
18th, 2023, mystic-con.com.
Perfect.
There you go.
All right, bye bye.
Awesome. That's a good one. Very
We
fun.
could talk more about the all that
Where's
stuff.
this
But
gonna say up?
Tuesday 1 and 2.
Do we have anything?
No.
No.
I want to talk about like these quarterbacks. They come in and they play pretty well, and it makes sense because there's not.
Quarterback. What's his name? Zach Wilson.
Well,
How
no,
he played
like,
good at the beginning of the
Mike
year,
White.
Fell apart. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike White comes in and
But
He got
kills
rocked
But-
too, man.
Oh,
Mike
dude,
White
he
got
Heineke-
got
rocked.
internal bleeding. They're saying.
Yeah, he got rocked.
but even Purdy comes in like this third string
But
no
look at the
name.
team they have around him. He has Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel
Well-
are so good, and he's good.
Yeah.
Samuels is not hurt.
I know, but then you start looking and you're like, well, how important is like it seems like the system is more important than the actual player, and all players because they're NFL caliber are pretty fucking close. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no
There's not
garbage.
much of there's mediocrity of the whole league. That's the reason why the NFC South is so close, and they're though.
All right.
That was fun, guys. Thank you for having me.
Oh man, anytime.
So now we're just doing a.
Outlet.
What are we doing now?
We have
He's in.
Brian from Big Brothers Big Sisters on Zoom.
Oh, is he there now?
He said he was watching us on YouTube,
Oh
so
my gosh! Let me load up our.
I let him know we were
Alright,
running
AJ.
late.
See ya, dude.
See you, buddy. Great job today. Is this for Tuesday?
Yes.
So we're
Yeah, we'll
finishing
do Tuesday 3. Yeah.
And then what are we doing for 4?
Just voicemail, email.
Perfect. Yep, I got him. Here we go. Hey, man.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Hey, what's going on,
Thanks
Brian?
for your time, man. That looks really good too.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Anytime,
it.
man. Anytime.
Watching you guys on YouTube, it's pretty funny.
Right on.
Alright.
Thanks for watching us. We appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on.
Look at his setup's nice. He's got a nice creamy background.
It's like
I figured I'd blur my background out so none of your fans like green screen things behind me. So I figured I'd just blur it out.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's actually
they'll
it is
put
legit
dicks
green
behind
screen.
you.
they're too dumb for
Yeah,
that. They don't know.
Some of them know how to do it.
Okay.
It's the broadcast engineer in me. Like, oh wait, what bad things can they do?
Pretty much anything. I've had.
Yep.
I've been
real bad.
photoshopped into everything.
Real-
Yeah.
They've already made a meme of you as Mark Davis.
Oh.
Melissa pulled it quick.
All right.
All right, buddy. Mr. Van.
Of me?
No,
Oh.
of Dan.
Of me?
Yes.
Oh, I want to be Mark Davis so bad. I'll do that haircut, but I got to know how much you guys and how long do I have to keep it? I'll do it. You know I'll do it.
I think it's a hard haircut to even pull
I'll
off.
ask John. I go Friday. I'll ask him I'll just bowl me, buddy. I'll be bowl me.
But it's more than a bowl. It's a it's a weird.
Because
it's like a
it's short bangs.
It's like a Caesar bowl.
It's
which I
the Diantward girl. It's her bangs.
The-
It's this high straight across.
Yoli
I don't know their
Vizar. Yoli Vizar, I think her name.
But then
Okay,
it keeps
anyway.
going anyway.
Here we go. We're going to start. I promise. We didn't forget about you. All right.
Oh, you're good. I'm used to radio time.
Okay, here you go, Tom.
Yep.
You bring us back. 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So a listener of ours set this up, and we're going to talk about an organization that I don't know much about. I kind of know the gist of what they do.
We're
but-
like gist guys. We know the gist of about
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
but we're not details guys. We're gist guys.
So Brian is on Zoom, and he is from Big Brother, Big Sister
Of Central Florida.
Of Central Florida. How you doing?
Oh, I thought you meant Big Brother, the TV show. The backstabbing,
Uncensored.
horrible TV show.
Definitely don't want me from that one.
No.
How you doing, Brian?
Excellent yourselves, guys.
Good,
man. Thank you for the time.
So tell us about Big Brother, Big Sister of Central Florida, and give us the gist about what it is.
Yeah, so Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Florida. We've been in the Central Florida area since 1947. We cover 5 counties here in the areas. We do Brevard, Osceola, Lake, Seminole, and Orange County. We've got over 300 kids in our program. Wow. And what we do is we take youth in our communities and pair them with a good mentor in our community. So 87% of our kids come from a single parent, single guardian home. I myself used to be one of these kids. So it's either a grandmother or a mom. Occasionally it's a single dad trying to raise their kid. And we match them together. So,
I was giving some extra love to the single dad. Sorry, Tom. And God bless the grandmas, right? Grandmas do a lot.
Oh,
and they're so tired all the way they shuffle, and oh my God, they're so tired, the grandmas.
Yeah. Although with the grandma, I feel like they're a little bit responsible for the situation they're in, just because it was your kid that caused the situation.
You should have done a better job, Grandma.
Like, that has to do a little bit with the situation that you're in now, right? Maybe just
she's
I'm
not
joking.
totally free from blame. It's all your fault, Greg.
No, you're good. Like for me, my grandmother raised me until I was about 9-10 years old. So I actually can relate perfectly to these grandmothers and the unique situations that sometimes they're put in. With those 87% kids, a lot of them have parents that are incarcerated. So we work with a lot of children whose parents are in jail, made bad decisions. So what we're trying to do is get those kids a positive influence in their lives, so they don't end up like their mom or dad, who potentially may be in jail some way. So
you know who does
we're trying to
this?
break that loop.
You know who I think does this? I may be wrong, but I think Bustecker does this, and he's perfect, right? Because he's like the nicest and best human being I know. He's like really good.
It's so boring.
He's virtuous. He's got a beautiful wife. He's smart. He's kind. He works with the police, and I think
that's the only bad
I think he has done that. That is the bad one. I think he's done this before. Like I think he's done.
I think you're right.
So
I've always wanted to do it, but the problem that I have is honestly is just time. No time.
Yeah, and too selfish.
A little selfish, yeah. A little too selfish with my time.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have
you
any
want to
time.
give it away.
Yeah. Chili pepper.
Yeah, so I'm happy you bring up the time thing, man. It's like 4 to 6 hours a month. We match you with a kid that's pretty similar to yourself. So it's less of a chore to hang out with. It's more like hanging out with like a mini clone of yourself is what I always
I
joke
would
and-
love to do this, but I can tell you right now who also would love to do it, but would have to really nut up before he got to the meeting would be you. I can't see you. I feel like you'd have to go in and give yourself a chat in the mirror before you go and hang with the kid for a couple hours at the library or something, right?
Hold on. I love telling people about business and how to make money, or like
I don't think that's what he needs.
Or like
that is what you need.
How
you need rambling old men. Oh, you came to the right place.
But no kids like or at least my kids. They're
like, God, shut up.
They literally, I see them fly away in their eyes.
Yeah.
I see their brain fly away.
Yeah.
While I'm looking at them, I'm like, you're not
Butterfly
listening to
in the sky. They're all reading rainbow, flying all around.
And so then, based on my own kids, I can imagine that no kid wants to listen to me tell them anything. You know what I'm saying?
But you're not fun. Like, you are fun with kids, but I'm just saying, getting past the formality of meeting the child for the first time, that's going to be what's weird for you. You're a very fun dad. You're the most fun dad I know. Always
it's terrifying.
Always in the pool
yeah,
playing.
but that's not what they need. They need a mentor to tell them
That's
about life.
That's me. That's where I come in.
You need a mentor, though, so you can't be one.
Wait, I can be your big brother. I can be your big brother.
Wait, is there an age limit on when we can have a big brother or big sister?
A good question, Sam.
So up to 16 is the oldest kid will match, because typically by that point they age out of high school. The youngest is about 6 years old. But you know what? at we do a lot of events with just our bigs so they can get to know each other and bounce ideas off each other. One of the nights we actually had at a la carte over.
Oh, I love
Oh
it.
yeah, it's one of our
Yeah,
sponsors.
it's a great place. They did a movie night sponsored with us, and we watched the movie Role Models.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a lighthearted. They make fun of Big Brothers Big Sisters the entire time, but it really shows how that relationship can, you may not think you may be a good mentor for a kid,
Sure,
but in actuality, you're exactly what that kid needs,
right?
And you both grow from it. And
Also, having a sense of humor, and kudos to you guys for having a sense of humor about it, because no one's perfect. Jokes to me are healing. Jokes, I mean, like help, and going into those type of things, and not showing that movie or not being able to poke fun at something, I don't think ever helps. It normalizes it, makes it a little more fun.
So, Brian, have you ever had someone who came to you wanting to be a big brother
and got declined?
And then, because I imagine, there are some people that you would probably look at it, you're like, well, you don't even have it together, so how are you going to teach someone else?
I think he's doing that right now.
Well, I'm just saying, let's say Mike B comes.
what's the background check?
And you're like, you can't be a big brother with that nose ring.
Are you crazy?
No, you don't want to. You're going to teach the kids
to have nose rings.
You need to get your ass together, Mike B.
Shave your mustache. Take out your nose ring.
So how does that work? Do you have to have some certain accomplishment in life, or be in some sort of societal status to even
do you make people
qualify?
Send in a photo? Send a photo.
So we do a very extensive background check. We ask for 3 people you work with. We ask for a number of people from your personal life. Then we also do.
I don't even have 3 people I know.
Exactly. So we actually turn away more people than we accept. So right now we're doing the 100 men in 100 days. We're trying to get as many male mentors. We have a huge waiting list of young boys, and it's because either what Dan said earlier about men, especially 20 to 35, 40, don't really think that they'd be a good influence on a child when they actually would be. And then on the flip side is there's sometimes people who are really confident and think they would be a good influence on them actually have a really bad background, and we actually reject them pretty regularly. So we a very extensive background check for everyone involved. And then we actually do monthly checkups on the little. We call that the little directly. We call the big, and then we also call the whoever the guardian or parent may be for the child. So we check in monthly. We do all this. The safety of the child is absolute paramount over anything else.
Jim Phillips did this too. Somebody in the chat room reminded me that Jim Phillips was a big brother. I forgot about that. See, he would be an awesome big brother. He's got the tractors. He does the woodworking. He's always got some new hobby. He's training crows with a crow whistle. He's got a whip.
Although, and no offense to Jim Phillips.
What are you going to show this kid? You're going to get out there on your one wheel and do a couple 360s?
Jim Phillips is more like a big grandpa. Like I said, no offense to him. But what I'm saying,
I'm going to tell him you said that.
No.
And he'll never see it because he doesn't text because he's a big grandpa. I'm joking. Oh, my God. He's going to text me.
He damn sure doesn't listen to the show.
No. Past his bedtime. I can't stop. I can't stop. Take that!
Doesn't know that song.
Take that!
Big grandpa. Because
nobody's a legend.
I feel like you should be in the age range that you could actually be a big brother. Like if you're too old.
Oh, you're looking at me now.
No. I'm just saying that.
Too old to brother.
Like if you're 8 years old, say you're my son Tommy's age.
You guys should
right?
get Hulk Hogan. Oh my God, that's the inception of Big Brothers, brother.
Like I feel like if he had a big brother my age, or they'd be like, well, my dad's your age, so it's not really realistic. Like you need a big brother that's like in his late 20s, right, or something like that, or mid 20s, something where it's like.
What do you call the girls? Are they big mamas?
They're big sisters.
Oh,
big sisters.
Oh, sorry.
But I will say though,
I wanted Sam to be a big mama.
Don't put that on me.
Our
wife's
age
a
range,
big
of most successful bigs are like 20 to I'd say about early 30s, right around when everyone starts having their first kids, and then they kind of go away from the program, and then later in life when they have all the kids leave the house, all the empty nesters, they're also actually our next big most successful bigs and in the program, because I raised all these kids that are in their 20s and 30s now. I'm bored. I have all this free time. And they become bigs. So we have this really weird gap where we have all these volunteers up until about 32, 33, and then it jumps all the way to about late 50s. And it's
I'm almost there.
Typically in that middle range, they're raising their own children. and then they come back to our program later. So we have a lot of volunteers who are like, oh yeah, I did that in college for 3 or 4 years, or oh yeah, right when I graduated college, I did that for 2 years, 3 years, and later in life they come back to us, which is fantastic.
I've always admired people, and I meet with a lot of like successful people, like more successful than you and I.
Yeah.
And we meet with a lot of most people we meet are more successful than us. And I'll meet with them, and then like I've always wanted to be the type of person like these people. Now, follow me here.
Yep.
They'll be sitting on the couch, and they'll be like doing an interview with us, and they'll be like on our show, and then they'll get done, and I'll be like, hey, you want to hang out for another segment? They'll be, sorry, can't do it. Got lunch with my big brother. Or when my little brother, I do, I volunteer, like I do, and I'm not like I want to add it to my calendar just so people hear me say it.
Yeah, because you're a better person if you've taken on a little brother, a little sister, you are a better person. Than the rest of us.
You are.
Yeah.
It is a huge responsibility. So the kids that I last mentored, they're seniors at Rollins College now.
Whoa, smarty pants.
I was paired with them when they were 13. So I'm a volunteer with the organization.
Nice.
I don't work for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
You've just been doing it. You got the bug and you like it.
Yeah, I'm the chairman for the organization. So
that's awesome.
I do all that fun board of director stuff. But those kids though, they lost their birth mother when they were 14, 15 years old. So I was there at the funeral with them. It was around the same time I lost a person who raised me. So I was able to relate to them. They were adopted. I was adopted. So again, we pair you with a kid that's really close to you. But yeah, it's a huge responsibility to that kid because our average match is about 3.5, 4 years. And you see that kid go through a lot. I taught him how to drive. I took him to prom. I was there for the funeral. It is like having a legitimate little brother in the program. So
that's amazing.
Brian, are there rules for big brothers and big sisters as far as like you can't
feed them after midnight?
No, so you can't like
no water.
But because what I like to do with my own sons,
don't get into that. That's no.
I just like to buy their love with toys. Then so if I need to make them happy, I give them toys.
Ice cream every afternoon. I found out they get ice cream every afternoon.
It's basically bribery. Bribery works.
It's like living at the Wonka house.
If you give people ice cream and toys, they'll love you. they'll love you more.
Not girls.
They pretend to.
And
I try that now with girls. It doesn't work.
And if you are the rules setter and then make them follow the rules like my wife does,
I'm the mean guy.
You're the ruiner.
Yeah.
And so now my sons they look at me like I'm the fun daddy and my wife's the ruiner, and that's burned into their brains.
Fun daddy versus ruiner
until I'm dead, and then I'll always be fun daddy. So what I'm saying is, do you set like rules where like you're not allowed to buy your little brother, little sister like
what if I were rich and
toys?
I want to get them a Lamborghini?
Yeah,
there are rules on how much money you can spend. Financial obligation. If you go out for an activity, we're not expecting the big to pay for everything. The little's family is supposed to chip in and
cough up some money, little. We're going to Top Golf. This is expensive. We're at Drive Shack. I'm not paying for all the pizza.
Yeah, I mean, so it's not a full financial obligation to the big, if they're right out of college, things like that. But, I did look at it as a treat for the kid to be out away from, whatever situation they may have back at home.
Sure.
So a big thing that we would go is we go to the comic book shop. And
that's a good one.
The kids I was with, they hated reading, so I would get them a comic, and we would sit down and at the comic shop over near Full Sail, or we would go over to Blackbird, something like that, and sit down and read. All the comic shops in town do a great job of letting the Big Brothers Big Sisters program do like D&D sessions and things like that. That's cool. So we do things like that where it's more of a reward. I try to remember that the situation the kid's in is not the greatest, so it is almost kind of like a treat for the kid to go out, and you're not expected to get something from every time you go out, but most of our bigs are getting coffee or ice cream or something like that, where it's $2 or $3, and we have actually a program with a lot of local businesses where if you tell them you're a big brother and you're with your little sister or big little brother, there's a discount. So the big pays in full. And
now I knew about the discount because Tom has been taking me around for years and telling people that I'm his little brother, and we do it at 2J's, we do it at
15% off.
We do it at Kobe's.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we do it at Kobe's. No, I'm kidding. We don't do that.
So now, is there a reason why it's only 6 hours a month? Can the big brothers or big sisters do more, or is it like a mandatory 6 hours, but you could always do more? How does that work?
So I'm gonna call Dan out on his I'm too busy to do this thing.
Sure.
So
yeah, please, please.
I was head of engineering for the Orlando Magic and Solar Bears, and I ran all of the events at Amway for 8 years while still being a big brother. So basically what I would do is I'd communicate my schedule with the family and go, hey, I have 3 weeks of home games. This month I can't hang out with you, but next month we'll do 12 hours.
Gotcha.
So we would fluctuate it based off my personal schedule, and they get it. And I'm about to go into with my current job. I'm about to start doing overnights. I can't do this week because of this, but next week we can do, 6 hours in one day, that kind of thing. So you just kind of work it out based off your schedule. We also have an in-school program where you actually go to the kids' school and you don't see them outside of it, and you're with them for about an hour a week. And we have groups that do that
like
over
21 Jump Street. I want to do that.
Yeah,
I can dress cool and I'm walking the halls, and kids are like, "That look at that fat middle
You'd
schooler."
probably fit in pretty well, Dan.
Yeah, they're like, "Look at that middle schooler with a beard."
But I would just keep pushing back the hours a month after month and be like, all right, next month I owe you 40. God damn, is it 48 hours? No, 40 hours.
Yeah.
How about we trade the 48
what?
hours?
And then eventually you buy them a pony.
For
and then you broke the rule.
Dirty CVS teddy bears. But I'm drunk.
So we do check in monthly again, as I was mentioning earlier. So if we feel like the big's not following up on their end of things, or if the little flakes out, because that happens occasionally as well, where my first match ever all the way back in college and up in Philadelphia, the kid moved and just never told anybody. And I would show up to the school to go meet with them, and no contact.
You must not have made must not have made an impression on him.
I was probably a horrible big. At 18, 19 years old, I was a soccer hooligan in Philly. I was not a good role model. So but he's probably scared. I probably scared
this
him.
This big
off
brother's
somewhat,
forgettable.
Well, there's also the element of you want your big brother to be cool, right?
Yeah, you don't want to get the nerd big brother.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Everyone's cool, not around their dad, though.
True.
Like, Tom, you're not cool to your parents, or to your kids, or your parents probably, but someone else's kids, you're probably the coolest dude ever. And
that is
vice
true.
versa.
There's multitudes of Central Florida trash children that have worshipped him.
Well, they knew him as Drunky the Bear.
Yeah, they knew him as Drunky the Bear.
Yeah. There's a lot of tiny redneck kids that went to a lot of Monster Jam.
My dad drove drunk to see you with me in the car.
Yeah. There's a generation of Monster Jam kids that idolize me.
All those kids. There's a lot of Amco mechanics right now.
Drunky the Bear. I used
They're
to
looking
play
up for their
Punchy the Bear at Sons of Ben tailgates. So I feel you on the
Punchy the Bear.
He was Punchy the Bear?
I was Punchy the Bear, so.
Wait a minute.
I love. Oh, this guy's a soccer hooligan. Punchy the Bear. You're Drunky the Bear.
That's what my wife called me when I drank too much.
I mean, the last time Dan and I saw each other was at a USL game, Harrisburg Islanders versus.
Man, the
Islanders.
The USL. City. You can't do the Islanders anymore. That's not allowed. So.
No, it's not.
No, but those USL days were rough.
So Brian, tell us a story about some of the most success you've seen with someone turning it around or whatever. Because I can imagine that even because the kids have to opt into the program, right? Or does there a caretaker opt them in? How does that work? They have to want to do this, right?
Yeah. So the guardian or teacher, whoever in their life will recommend them to the program, and then we interview the child, and if the child just does not seem interested or whatever, we'll try to coach them into it. We'll follow back up every couple of months until they get interested. But we won't force the kid into anything they don't want to do. It's not what we do.
Here, hang out with this stranger named
Tom.
A
lot of the kids are
flip flop
really eager.
stink.
Yeah, the kids are really eager, especially once we tell them, we found this big who does this for a living.
He's a radio guy. What?
Does
that
X,
would
Y,
be
Z.
impressive.
Yeah, they get really excited.
That would be impressive. He's a radio guy.
You should
owns
do
his
this,
own
Tom.
podcast.
I like the idea of me becoming a big brother for some 8-year-old, and then I'm telling my own kids, I'm sorry, hang out with Timmy.
You'd probably be glad to get to play Roblox.
Yeah, that's what Mr. Rogers did.
Yeah. And then so my sons are like, "Where's Dad? We want to play." He's hanging out with his little
brother.
Yeah, he says the little brother's way cooler.
He took the little brother to Celebration.
What would be worse is if you had two littles and you were bringing them around and telling people they were Tommy and Matt. That would be. I'm just putting a little extra layer of you know.
I have an interesting question
evil on top.
about that. Like, is the preferred person that does this probably doesn't have any small kids or smaller brothers himself? Like, you would probably better to have no little brother or kids that you should be hanging out with.
Yeah, typically it's, again, that's why the age gap is, you know, under 35, and then they come back to us when they're in their, you know, late 50s, early 60s, when their kids get out of the house. But to go back to your last question, the most successful match that we've had just goes back to this summer, actually. So they were matched for 12 and a half years, one of our longest matches. The kid wanted to be a Secret Service agent. At the time, he had, you know, mostly B's, C's, and, you know, a couple D's, mostly a confidence issue. A lot of our kids have lower grades, and it's all confidence. As soon as they start matching with someone, and someone that actually cares about them, his grades go right through the roof.
100%.
So this kid worked his tail off with the help of his mentor, and then this past June got put into the Secret Service and is now an active Secret Service agent, and like hit his goal. And we get that all the time. We get kids who want to be Secret Service agents. We have a lot of we have a Bigs and Badges program, so we have firemen, cops, and veterans.
A lot of the badges I see in OPD are Bigs. If you know,
you work your whole life to become Secret Service, you get Trump.
This guy's yelling at me.
He's yelling.
He threw a plate of spaghetti at the wall.
And dump his cell phone and Diet Coke.
He grabbed the wheel. I'm sorry. We can't take anything seriously, but you
no,
you're
good. But like we're really proud of him because he set a goal. He and his big knew what the goal was.
That's
and then
dope.
That's amazing.
That is awesome.
Yeah. I'm so impressed by any kid that wants to become something.
That has any goals?
And I never had no goals. I don't know. I didn't have any goals as a kid. Nothing. I don't think I even ever had goals. Still to this day, no goals. But
you're like the
reason
England
why
national team.
Oh, this got sad.
Sorry, I'm just making it worse for Richard. No goals.
But the fact that you want to become something when you're a kid and then you see it through and then that's impressive, man.
I have a friend that I went to college with who had a big little brother.
Okay.
And he said, you know, they had come to the end of their time, and it was, you know, time for them, you know, to go on or whatever. But they stayed connected and matched. And then this guy eventually paid for the little's college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they were still in the same town. It was like
you create a bond with someone.
Well, you become like a family.
Yeah,
you become like a real family. And
I mean, in my case, my bigs became my adopted mom and dad.
Yeah, there you
go.
go.
Like I fully feel that they were my bigs for a long time. My grandmother couldn't take care of me anymore, and
that's really
offered to adopt me. So yeah, I've been part of this program for over 25 years now by this point. But the whole reason why I wanted to go on your guys' show in particular, though, is because one, you guys are the demographic that we're looking for. We're looking for men in the community, but also you guys have a very diverse group.
We're also extremely entertaining. It's so funny.
Very entertaining. I've been listening to you guys for a long time.
The things that we say, it's like, how can they stay irreverent after this much time? It's like they never go out of style.
Oh.
They never run out of things to talk about.
They're like classic isotoner gloves.
So what I love about this program is like our Halloween party that we did a couple months ago. We did a trunk or treat for the kids, and I'm looking around at the group, and parked next to each other, and you guys are going to get a kick out of this. It was the youth minister and his wife and their little, and then literally right next to them was a guy who's one of our, you know, top bigs and such a sweetheart. And on the back of it, he's got the Jesus fish, and inside of it says Satan. And what I love about the program is we don't discriminate about religion, sex, you know. We don't take any of that consideration. We go, every kid needs a mentor. Everyone needs someone. And out there's someone that has the same values.
Everybody's
as
different.
them.
Yeah.
And exactly. So we don't care about someone's, their politics, their religion, any of that kind of stuff. If we, we worked with Zebra Coalition before COVID to get training for all of our staff on,
nice.
That community. And we're working with some people I work with to get us more training. We've started, actively getting bigs and littles who are, gay or lesbian and even trans in that community. We're also working with, the police and EMTs and all that.
Sure.
So we're a unique charity where we want to help everybody regardless of what their background is, because every child needs a mentor to get older. So that's why I love our charity in particular, is that you don't have to be a Christian, you don't have to be X, no, we'll take everybody in.
Yeah, as long as you're a good person and you qualify for...
And you pass the background check.
Yeah.
The background check is key.
Yeah, that's paramount.
So, Brian, how can people get involved, whether they want to be a big brother or big sister?
I want to be a little.
Or if they know someone that would benefit in the program if they're, a little.
Yeah, so our website is cflbigs.org. cflbigs.org.
How is that not a chopper shop in Daytona?
I know, right?
CFL Central Florida Bigs Choppers.
I won the lottery on
you did
URLs on that one.
CFL Bigs. That's great.
Yeah, so on there we can learn about what it takes to be a big. You can sign up there. You can also sign up a youth and look at our different programs we have going on. If you are interested in the program but you're worried about it, we also post on Facebook and Instagram social outings. So like Rock Pit Brewery hosts us all the time.
Yeah,
we'll do happy hours.
Awesome.
And Chris Rock and those guys, we actually had one of our first events out there right the week they
look
first
at these
opened.
littles everywhere.
Yeah, and we just did a beer and learn. You came, I bought the first round of beers for everybody, talked about it, and then out of that, we got about 15 volunteers, and we got a new board member out of it.
That's awesome.
So we do a lot of those events around town too, where we'll work with Rock Pit, Ivanhoe, breweries, and coffee shops are a big thing. So if you don't see us on the website or you want to learn more information, you can come out to one of our events and volunteer with us that way. But
awesome.
Well, thank you for the time, man. This has been like super eye-opening and super fun. And
it's a great program.
Yeah, if you have stuff to plug, please keep us in mind and come back sometime. Okay.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for taking the time to have me on the show, and look forward to seeing you guys in person again.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Take care, and thanks again for the time.
See you, Brian.
Yep. See you guys.
Be good. That is Brian.
It's cool to see someone that was so positively affected by this program that they've now dedicated their life to be.
Life,
and then
if I were his
I'm
grandma, I'd be proud, right? Like that guy's got his S together, right?
I don't know if I'm the type of person like some program helped me a lot, then I dedicate myself to that.
I
program.
wouldn't. I would
just
turn
be
my
like,
back on
I'm
the
good
program.
now.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm rich.
That's what I would do. Like Kelly Clarkson, American Idol. I'd be on there. I'd win it. Peace out, American Idol. I'm never coming back.
Never even mentioned
You'll never
American
see me
Idol
again.
again.
They'd be like, "What about American Idol?"
Yeah,
I was never on that. I was never on. I was always better than them.
All right, we'll be right back.
Funny shows today.
We'll just do a quick 13.
Okay.
It was Tuesday, 3. He was great.
I'm glad he was familiar with the show.
Yeah,
really familiar with it.
Well, I usually gauge if they're not from, that's why with the hot yoga I could tell I can't go too far because she's
we won her over at the end. We finally got her.
But I knew she was
I don't know if you guys were reading the chat about who this Bikram dude is.
Yeah, but I don't want to get wrapped into
and I was like,
that.
I don't want to bring it up without, I don't want to surprise her with, hey, tell us about this guy that sexually assaulted all these women.
Yeah.
Or if you're some sort of guru, you got a boner. If you tell me you're a guru,
I am a guru
That's a
and
Tom
I have a
Van
boner.
quote.
Yeah.
If you're a guru, you have a boner.
I did the math. I'm like, you're a little bit hornier than the rest of us.
If you spend most of your time, all yoga is sexual moves without doing the sex.
If you are a guru, if you bring your acoustic guitar out of your house, you're a little bit hornier than the rest of us. So
if
I'm just
you
saying,
do hot yoga in black briefs, you
black briefs. That's what I wear.
Is it?
Black briefs. Except last night I wore something. We can talk about it before we do voicemails.
Can we say it on the radio?
Yeah. You doubt me? I'm only been doing this professionally for 30 years.
Well, he did just say
you should doubt
titties.
me. Yeah, I did. Well, it needed to be said. All right. Here we go. 13. I got voicemails. And I'll start. Here we go. 3, 2. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. By accident last night, I slept in something that I think is going to be my new way of sleeping.
Okay.
So I went to go pee in the middle of the night.
Okay.
And I had on just a T-shirt and a pair of briefs, white briefs.
Okay.
I walked to the bathroom. I went number 1. As I'm walking back, I sat down to go number 1, and I had them around my ankles, and I just kind of kicked them off. And then I couldn't find them. So I was just like, I'll just go to bed. Doesn't matter. But I had on a long shirt with no underwear, almost like what a woman would wear,
Okay,
right?
yeah. Porky Pig.
I Porky Pigged it. I was just wearing a long shirt, no panties. But the shirt covered my hiney and covered my front.
Yeah.
And I think that's the new way to sleep. I think
Was it comfortable?
It was so comfortable.
That's how kids.
I think I'm a kid.
No,
Get a nightgown.
I think I'm going to start wearing a nightgown.
Yeah.
No,
You already have that dress in here. You can use that.
you can't.
I think that was the catalyst that started somebody in the chat room saying it's like how Scrooge, you wear the night shirt.
Yeah. That's too long, though. You got to go at least, like knee length. Isn't Scrooge down his ankles?
Maybe. Knee is fine. You're right.
It's like
I've got nice legs, too.
It's a gown. It's a sleeping gown.
I have my grandmother Lucille's legs. I have a really nice leg. Like if I shaved my legs, I think I might have some of the nicest legs in the studio.
I don't like the sleeping gown. It's too much material.
No. This was just a T-shirt.
Yeah.
It was very cozy, though.
Yeah, but I'd rather wear just underwear and then nothing else.
You still wear boxers, and then you pull basketball shorts over your boxers. That's how you sleep, right?
No.
How do you sleep now?
I just boxers and a shirt.
Do you wear the headband? Do you sleep in the headband?
Yes, I do.
I'm surprised you both sleep in shirts.
You sleep in a headband? Sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't. I wear a sleep mask.
Crystal keeps it so damn cold.
Yeah,
in
so
her
does
room.
Andrea. Andrea keeps it like a vampire refrigerator.
We got a mini split.
Me too, yeah.
And then
I had to. It's too
hot
hot in there.
No,
yeah,
too cold.
Well, that's what Crystal was saying. It was too hot, and
We
now
run hotter than you guys.
she's got the mini
you got
split.
blood down
That's
there.
right.
And then I'm freezing. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my
I
god.
freeze to death.
Yeah, like so.
I can't get back
Put
to
on
sleep.
a onesie.
If I wake
Like
up,
I could sleep with sweatpants. Like I've slept with sweatpants
I have
before.
too.
I'm fine.
I sleep
It's
in
so
Zubaz.
freaking cold.
It's too cold. And then I pull a sheet, and then I put a blanket over me, and I have to sleep that way because she freezes me out of there. Now, Andrea wraps herself in a blanket, a sheet, panties, pajama pants, a shirt, a bra, another blanket, a pillow over her head, a sleep mask, earplugs. I'm like,
Cozy.
am I disgusting? Why do you have to cough in yourself?
I've heard like people say you should sleep with earplugs and a sleep mask, and if you're not sleeping like that, then you're doing yourself.
What do you know
a
about
disservice.
hostage tape?
What is that?
It's a new way to sleep.
What
Look
is
it up, Sam. Look up hostage tape.
Was it like tape over your eyes?
You
or
put
something?
tape over your mouth.
What?
So it forces you to only breathe out of your nose, and it makes you an elevated, top-tier human being. I started doing it.
Hostage tape, the most comfortable mouth tape on the planet.
Boom! I am the
It's
trendiest
for
person
sleeping?
on this show. Old man, old lady, I'm Mr. Trends. I'm little Danny
I
Trends.
feel like that would be terrifying.
It looks like it's supposed to help you not snore.
Well, you're just taping
Mouth
your mouth
breathing is
shut.
bad for you.
Mouth breathing is bad for you. This oxygenates.
It prevents snoring in most cases, improves sleep, daytime focus will
I
improve.
saw it on Rogan, and he was red about it.
Of course he would be red about hostage tape.
Hostage tape.
but
I'm
also-
buying
Jesus.
I'm
I can't
buying
go
you
to
something for Christmas, Sam.
I can't go to sleep with my mouth taped shut. Like that's.
Buy some hostage tape. We'll do it. We'll all test it on the show.
I can't be calm with my mouth taped
I'm
shut.
little Danny Trends, and if you want to be with the fitness trends, this is what's going to change my life. Hostage tape. I'm going to start sleeping
Crystal will love you forever if you get him hostage tape.
I feel like all of this because you start.
No, it is scientifically proven that if you breathe through your nose, you get more pure oxygen in your lungs than when you breathe from your mouth, and they don't really know why. I made that up.
But all these old people that we see, right, that made it to the end and made it like they made it to then their 90s.
I don't even know if that's the end. What if there's something afterwards?
Well, all I'm saying is the end of their life, they made it 95 plus or in their 90s, right? You won at that point. You live statistically longer than most humans. I feel like none of them did any of this stuff because
No.
they all have horrible sleep, alcohol, just random genetics that
Like
made them live
NFL
this long.
Hall of Fame player Jack Youngblood never taped his mouth shut to sleep.
Or yeah, you got a 10,000 concussions and like whatever. Like I feel like it's all random genetics and all this little stuff is not going to really matter.
I'm telling you, hostage tape. We have to start breathing through your nose only. It's going to oxygenate your lungs more with more pure O2.
But again, aren't you sitting there and then you go to breathe in through your mouth and like you wake up, you're like,
no, you don't
because your brain will know that you can't breathe through your mouth, so it'll force you to breathe through your nose.
She knows. See, this is a fit. She knows.
But at all times, like you won't, they won't scare you awake. Like you know that moment right when you're about to fall asleep. Sometimes you twitch awake or whatever. I feel like
does that all the time.
I feel like right when I drift off, I'm gonna feel tape on my mouth and then just like, and then like shock myself awake, and then I'll never be able to.
But you can't go because your mouth's shut.
I know, but I can't be peaceful.
You'll go.
No, you will. You'll go. Close your mouth.
Yeah.
Hold your mouth closed.
Yeah, but that's fine. But when it's taped shut, I feel like there's a restriction that's going to psychologically
how would you know?
mess
You're
with
asleep. You don't even know.
Yeah, but
you'd have to try it, man.
Subconsciously, you would be
Just
like,
try it. Don't try to predict
I'm
what
not
your
trying
body's
nothing.
going to do.
I'm not trying
You don't
nothing.
even know. I'm
trying
buying this
nothing.
for everybody. I'm buying hostage tape for everybody.
Stupid.
We're going to try it. It's gonna be, okay, fine. Don't be healthier.
I won't. I won't. Damn.
F you. I don't care
won't
about
do
my
a-
health.
I won't do a blindfold,
Blindfold, bird box.
earplugs, any of that stuff.
What happened to bird box? Blindfold. I love a good sleep mask.
Like an eye mask?
You do
Yeah.
a sleep
Yeah.
mask? Does your husband do a sleep mask?
Every once in a while, but not regularly.
See, I
no.
run it nightly. It's nice, man. Once you get used to it, having that much darkness, it's
I got
nice.
a Nemo bonnet now.
You wear a bonnet?
Yeah.
Like
It's great for your hair.
Like black people do when they go to sleep.
Well,
to keep-
everybody
to
should.
keep their waves nice.
Because,
Really?
yeah, because actually the cotton on your pillowcase is actually roughs up your hair.
I'm not gonna wear a bonnet.
You don't have to.
I guess if I want to be healthier, I gotta wear it.
Listen,
I bleach my hair. I got to protect it, man.
you drink.
Okay, wait, hold on.
And then you fall
Listen to
asleep
Tom's health
with
advice.
the taste of alcohol in your mouth.
Oh, man.
And then you pass out. Then
I'll
you
take
wake.
a sip. I'll tape alcohol into my mouth.
Then you wake up like your heart's beating, scared, and you're wide awake.
Yeah.
Right
What
around
did I do? Is it one of those, what did I
3:15
do?
in the morning. You're and then your heart's like, and then you can't go back to sleep for hours. And then you go back to sleep for 5 minutes and then wake up from your alarm.
Okay.
And you're tired and you feel like garbage.
Do you keep a cup of water next to your nightstand?
I do, but it has the taste of old White Claw.
Yeah.
Oh, a little remnants.
I
left?
have.
And you're like, I can't drink water that tastes a little like black cherry White Claw.
Yeah, I mean, either.
Oh.
I have 4
It's
to
stuck
10.
in the ice.
I have 4 to 10 Kroger seltzers that are scattered. Some of them are empty. Some have fallen over. Again, Whitney Houston's hotel room. It's horrifying. My nightstand. I can't let Maisie see it. It's terrible.
All right.
She has to knock like a depressed grandma. She's like, "Is Dad in there?" She's like, "Knock first." You want to do a voicemail?
Let's do it.
All right. If you'd like to leave us a voicemail, get our app. Leave us a voicemail like this one.
Hey everybody, my spouse has a couple of things where she's like, you can have this, but you can't have that. She says like, I can have long hair, but I can't have a long beard. Or I can have a long beard, but I can't have long hair. Or like, I can drink every day, but I have to have a job. Or I can smoke pot every day, but I have to have a job. But I can't smoke pot every day and not have a job. And drink every day and not have a job.
That's fair, it
Do you guys
seems.
have anything that's like, you can do this, but you cannot do that?
Oh,
Well, the first half seemed like it was your mom telling you what you can and can't do. But the whole,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, if you're going to be drinking and smoking all day, you got to have a job.
Yeah,
How are you
yeah.
supporting these habits?
Yeah. And you just got to contribute to the business. And if you're in a relationship, it's a business, and everybody's got to, put in their work, right?
Well, if
You can't do nothing.
If that's what is required, I mean, there are some businesses, as you're describing them, where the man or woman on the opposite end doesn't care whether you're in the business, out of the business, or whatever. So I just don't happen to have that arrangement with my wife, right? There are some
don't talk
men,
about relationships and businesses.
but there are some men that have an arrangement with their wife, and they know their wife isn't going to go to work, and they don't want that.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. And there
Yeah.
are some women that know. I was listening to comedian Annie Letterman this morning. She does a new podcast called Annie Wood, and her boyfriend is on there. And I don't know if it's a joke or not, but they make no bones about the fact that he does not work, that she pays all of the bills, and that's kind of the bit.
But
so, I
does-
mean, it just depends on
But
what
he
you're...
has to do some of the house stuff or the
I
cleaning.
don't know
right?
that.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
I
think that is to be true.
Do you know any relationship where there's one person that literally doesn't contribute anything? Because every relationship I've ever seen is
I mean, I don't want to say it.
I don't either.
Rude.
I don't want to say it either.
That's a trap. You're trying to trap me.
I am trying to trap you. I like traps.
I knew it.
But I've never really seen a relationship work. I'll say work. Where that one person doesn't contribute anything. Like, at least support the other person or support the household. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just do nothing and have one person do all the work. Like, if there's no kids involved, like, taking care of kids is a full-time job.
It's so hard.
But if there's no kids and the one person's just doing nothing, I feel like, now, who's anybody to say?
That's what I'm saying.
If that works for that person, but I don't think that works for most people. Like, most people are going to be like, I need you to do something, or like clean the house, or like do the laundry.
I can say this with full
if
certainty.
I'm working full time.
I can say this with full certainty. I have had multiple times where I've known men and women who may or may not require anything of their significant other, and with full certainty, all of those relationships have fallen apart. If the person is just kind of like there and living off the other person, it never really works out.
But I also feel like they're doing, or at least claiming to do something, right? Like keeping the house clean, or like
taking care of the house, typically.
Or they're the ones that cook dinner, or like do something, right?
Yeah.
Like they have to.
Like
do
Andrea tells
something.
all of her friends, she's my manager. As a way to like sort of impress people, and I have to tell them no, she does nothing.
Again,
absolutely nothing.
Now here's where it gets sticky, right?
Hey.
Where
sticky trap.
Air T&D.
And this is where it gets real complicated. So, say you have two people that work the same amount of hours, right?
Oh, is this one of those weird math problems?
No. But one makes like 5 times more than the other.
Men and women.
So then if one person's bringing 5 times more into the business than the other person, is the other person obligated to do more chores or at home stuff than the person that's making 5 times more?
Only if that person says you're obligated.
But should the person feel that they should do more because the other person brings more to the table?
You tell me. You don't believe in feelings.
I'm just saying it just based on pure logic, right? It's like if you have a business and someone else is bringing 5 times more to the business than you feel like, well, I better take out the trash more or do something.
Yes.
Most people feel like that, right?
Most people feel like that.
But if you can get away with not feeling
yes.
like that's where it's
that's the sweet spot.
the key. Because then maybe you pay that person in other ways, like
sticky situation.
Yeah. And then that person's fine with it. Like, hey, as long as you do this, then you
sit
can
on
square.
me.
You can do whatever you
Nothing.
want. I think that's where it becomes the old man and the
See.
Do
Do any of you have anything your wives say that you cannot do?
Can't get a neck tattoo.
Okay.
Can't get a face tattoo.
My wife wants me to work less, so I don't even know. Like, she wants me to do less and like, chill out more. She wants me to relax more.
Okay.
That would make her happy. I just can't do it. Like, I have to work when I'm at home all the time. It's like if I'm at home, I can't just hang out on the couch. I have to go mess around with the plants or start a project or whatever.
Right.
And it drives her crazy.
It's a thing.
She'd rather me do less.
Gotcha.
But that's something I don't do because I can't do it. It makes me happy. So I can imagine it works the other way, where if the person wants you to do more work and you're like, well, I'm not wired that way. I want to do nothing.
Yeah.
So I imagine that could be a problem, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway.
I'm trying to think if there's anything. No, I mean, like,
I don't have any. I mean, like,
be less of a hypochondriac. Like, I mean, there's certain things like take care of myself, meditate, go to my shrink.
Yeah. Well,
so
that's just part
stupid stuff I gotta do.
That's part of like making yourself more, mentally healthy.
But it's work put into the relationship, right? Because as much as I am doing that for me, I am doing it for her as well.
Yeah. I'm bad at that. Like Crystal's like, I need, you need to do this, or you need to work on yourself, or.
I'm bad at noticing. I'll do anything Andrea tells me to do. Anything. I'm not above anything. But sometimes I'm not. Like, if I'm just being honest, sometimes I'm not aware. I'm in my own brain. I'm doing some sort of jokes and the calculation or something. I don't know. I'm like not even thinking
Or
about
your anxiety probably.
Yeah, and
clouds a
I'll
lot of
just
it.
walk by something that needs to be done, and she wants me to actively like be scanning at all times and be like, dishes need to they take this out.
Oh, wow,
And
yeah.
I don't
Be
do
aware.
that. I don't think about that at all. I mean, I don't. I'm just. I don't know. I'm in my own brain. So like you and I are a lot alike in that regard.
Sam, do you have a calculation in your relationship? Now you're different in the fact that you guys have separate bank accounts. I saw
I thought you were
someone.
saying separate bedrooms. I was like, I've never heard that.
No, I saw. I did see someone put a story
That's
on the
stupid.
BDM page. It may have been Canadian Josh.
I
or
think it was
something.
Kenny.
Oh, was it Kenny? Yeah, it was Kenny. About relationships that have separate bank accounts will end up lasting longer, and it made sense because, like, yeah, of course, because there's going to be less financial fights or problems, right? If you're both in charge of your own money.
I truly think my relationship is an anomaly. I don't know anybody else that operates the way we do.
Yeah, and everything you're doing it.
And it works out great for us.
But it works
so.
out.
I like that.
But is there any calculations about the amount of money? I guess, but you guys split everything anyway.
Yeah,
So as long
50-50.
But what if someone comes up short? Like,
No.
does that start? Do you like weigh that as like, hey, you got to pay this back into like? What happens if like Travis one day ends up like saying, hey, I want to, I have a
my eyes on
dream.
some new skates.
I have a dream to become a professional wakeboarder, and I want to start
Wow.
training.
Okay.
And so then
He
he's
looks like a pro wakeboarder.
I
want
want to quit my job, but it's
got
his dream.
legs.
Even though you're like, I don't know if they make that much money or whatever.
Yeah.
But so he goes. He
I
tries.
see you being supportive.
He tries it for 2 years.
Or maybe you'd be like, are you crazy?
It does.
I'd be supportive. He'd never do that. He's too businessman.
No, I know. I'm just.
Yeah,
This is
hypothetical.
a hypothetical.
He hates the wind, too.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever.
That's the worst job you could have got for him.
He literally hates the wind.
Yeah.
It's the windiest sport in the
What if
world.
he wanted to become a
Being
skydiver?
pulled behind a boat. Skydiving was
I'll get
number
a better
one.
one.
Wakeboarding's number
He
two.
wanted to make a full go at it in a band, right? And then he.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can see that.
And then
Singer-songwriter.
He tries it for 2 years. It fizzles out. He has to go back. But that 2 years of no income, of use of it, does that
Oh, is he on the hook
That's
for it?
happened before.
does that land on the pendulum? It's like he's got to make that up some way, or do you just let it go and then chalk it up to love?
Chalk It Up to Love is one of the
That's
most...
a great song.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
It's actually happened before because when we first got together, he was living with me in my apartment, right? So I was paying all the bills. I didn't charge him anything.
Yeah.
And then later, when I had quit my job to go back to college, he helped support me financially. You help each other out when you need help.
So,
Write that down.
Well, that evened it out. But what happens if there's another unevenness? Does that
I'm sure
weigh?
it'll even out eventually.
You're doing these. You do this all the time in your mind, right?
Yeah. The scales of
everything,
justice.
Yeah, everything is scales in his mind. Everything is like, you owe me and I owe you and this owes that and this owes that.
That's how the world works.
I know it does. But
Everybody.
sometimes don't you want to forget about that? Just sit around the house like your wife says and chill out?
No. Everything's a scale.
All right. Let's try this voicemail message right here.
Tom, Dan, and Samantha, and Jim from Lakeland here. On a recent episode, you guys were talking about that none of you had been to the Epcot Candlelight Processional because it's for old folks. So let me tell you about it. Me and my wife have been several times, and it's pretty much what you expect. It's orchestras and choruses and a B-list or former A-list celebrity giving you a fairly middle of the road story of Christ, but there's a really interesting side game you can play while you're there, because the chorus is composed of Disney's own chorus and orchestra, and they also have choruses from schools that go there also. Those guys have a little bit less experience in that sort of an environment. So during the course of the show, which is about a 45-minute show, there are always a certain number of people up there that are standing the whole time and singing that pass out during the show. So my wife and I normally pick a number between 1 and 5, and we each make our bet on how many of the kids are going to pass out during the course of the show. And it's such a common thing that if you're watching the show and you look above the conductor up in the rafters, you might see a pair of feet dangling down. They've got a spotter up in the rafters who kind of looks for people who are getting woozy, and they've got handlers that will hustle in off the side of the stage and go get the people who are passing out of there. So I know that's not very Christmassy, but it does take something that's kind of interesting and it makes it a little bit more fun. Talk to you later, guys. I love you. Bye-bye.
We love you too, buddy. You always have the best voicemails and little tidbits of fun.
I like standing and watching kids.
It does sound more sinister.
It was a little odd,
yeah. The whole why just don't even go.
This is why you need a good PR guy. He likes
that's the most.
I like to stand and watch kids fall off the stage, but like if you say it like a cute grandpa.
Yeah, that's the most interesting part about this. It's just stupid.
I would watch Whoopi Goldberg fall off the stage. Wasn't that the one you saw, Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I didn't watch it, but yeah.
I don't know why I look at her now and I'm like, you just look grumpy. What's wrong with you?
We gotta go. Bye-bye.
All right.
We went way over.
Oh, yeah, we did.
How long were we supposed to go?
13.
Yeah.
I was trying to wrap it up, but then you started doing these hypothetical things about my husband being a water skier.
Well, we can, since that was a rando segment, we can,
I can
put it somewhere, and then we could do a
quick
13.
Actually, no, you got to get out of here.
Yeah, I have to get out of here.
No, we're good. He can edit it. It's fine.
Yeah, just tell him to cut something out. There's a lot of
He
stuff.
may even be able to play it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just send it to him and he'll play whatever he can.
Yeah. It's the Tuesday 4, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
We need a intro. If you
then
can.
We'll get you out of here. Sorry, buddy.
No, all good. I gotta wrap my head around the award show and how we're gonna.
Yeah, I need to figure out what y'all want to do so I can.
I say we just do the little pieces like we've done, do the longer ones because that works really well for me, and then the ones we can't do that, we just talk about it.
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
There's certain ones that won't. Yeah, it'll just be the pacing of it because
we did each one as a separate segment last time, where I had the elements ready to play. So I'll have Dan, and then I'll have like whatever Andrea does. I'll have that all together.
Yeah. It's just in the past we have Dan announce the winner, and then it goes right into the long segment, and then we go back. So with Dan announce the winner, we just have to go into the next. You know, it throws off the.
Well, I thought we were gonna still play the long segment.
Well, in some of them it doesn't make any sense because there's like the actual segment. The nominees is what we want to highlight.
Then then if on those instead of we should always end with the long segment. So no matter what.
So even have those long.
And even if the ones are short, just say them. Just say like, oh, and the ones in this category are this impression, this thing, and this thing. And then if they're short, it doesn't matter. Still, just make sure that the winner is what's presented, and it'll always work out in my mind.
Okay. Yeah. We'll go.
That probably just confused everybody.
No, we'll walk through. I see what you're saying. We can. Yeah. We just have to figure it out.